are listening to the Gamecasters.
Natalie, Jeff, and Ryan are the Gamecasters, and they do a board game show, inboxes, and nooks and games, and top 5 lists, and sometimes there's fart jokes.
Welcome back, gamers, to the 81st episode of the Narcissist Casters, the show that's brought you around 10,000 minutes of content over the past few years. Well, it's our first episode of 2022, and I wanted to say that my resolution this year is to remove the filter I've had since the show's inception. I've been very tame and wholesome and family-friendly, and I've had email after email asking me to finally take the condom off and finally release the flow of my unadulterated personality.
Oh my God.
Ew.
In all seriousness, as we begin 2022, I wanted to take a second to reflect on how amazing our community of listeners are. We've had more success than ever as our show has consistently climbed higher and higher in downloads, and it's honestly all thanks to the incredible personalities of the three of us. But a very close second is the listeners that we have. You are all the reason that this exists in the first place. Well, actually, this exists because I had a vision and the fortitude to start a podcast. So again, I should probably be thanked first. Thank you, Ryan. You're welcome. But seriously, without you guys and the extreme hard work I put into every single episode to make it the best it can be, we would be nowhere. So on behalf of Natalie and Jeff, I wanted to sincerely thank each and every one of you, even Jim, for not only sticking with us over the years, but well, no, that's exactly what I'm thanking you for. Sticking with us over the years. I reached out to a few people to thank them personally, and they all responded by sending in like a soundbite that I could play for everybody, which is really cool, I think. So this is going to be a tad mushy, which is sort of unusual for us, but whatever. They don't all have to be gross, Gabi. Okay, so I'm going to play these recordings. So I reached out to Janelle,
Okay.
and Ben and M, and Amanda, Main Street Meeple, and Dan and Kim, and Samantha Frintos. Okay.
Ooh.
And they all were like, I want to say something back to you. It was really cool. I haven't heard them. We're going to listen to them together. So this first one is Janelle. Let me figure out a way to share this. It's going to be, you're going to get teary-eyed, I hope.
I'm ready. I got my Kleenex.
Because that doesn't ever happen, you know what I mean? Okay, so hopefully this works. Here we go.
Hey, Gamecasters! We love listening to you guys every episode. Well, listening actually has gotten tough over the past 20 or so episodes.
What?
Oh, well, that's okay.
20.
But I definitely do download the show each time to give you guys those stats.
Okay.
That helps.
Actually, shoot. I haven't done that in a few months either.
Oh.
But
Janelle.
you guys are really great.
What?
You and, what are you guys' names again?
She doesn't remember her name.
Elizabeth?
Oh, Janelle.
Maybe Frederick?
Frederick!
Oh.
Okay, well, that was not exactly that wasn't what I expected, totally. Should I cut that out?
That's an anomaly.
No, I'm gonna.
Yeah, the other
I'll
ones
leave
have
it.
to be
I'll leave it in. The other ones are
Yeah,
great.
the
The other
other
ones are
ones are
great. The other
probably
ones are great. Okay, well, geez, which one should we listen to next? Let's get it back. Ben and M's probably.
Yeah,
a lot
they're
better.
Yeah, they're nice.
friends
They're
with
nice
us.
people.
We're actually friends with them. Janelle,
Yeah.
geez, that was mean. Okay.
Hey guys, it's Ben.
And M
Hey.
from Date Night Dice.
Hey, guys.
We just wanted to call in and say how we couldn't believe you've made it all the way past 80 episodes.
But
What?
don't you think everybody's had enough?
No.
Maybe it's time to start thinking about sunsetting this whole Gamecasters thing.
What?
I can think of another great board game podcast.
Oh, you
Anyway, it's been great.
Bye.
can. Does this seem like it's not
That's-
as mushy as you might have thought?
Are they
actually,
trying to steal our
originally?
listeners?
Oh.
I know they're just trying to steal
They're
our
like,
people.
get out of the way so we can thrive.
Okay. Okay. This is reminiscent of episode 50 already. Okay, let's go to Amanda. She can't be mean, I don't
No,
think.
she can't. It's impossible.
Hey, Gamecasters.
Hey.
Thank you so much
Amanda.
for all the memories of the show. It's going to be really sad to see you guys retire.
What?
Like,
What?
really sad.
We're retiring?
I honestly
Amanda?
don't think you have
We're
to
not
worry
retiring.
about us. We're going to find other podcasts to listen to, and there are so many good podcasts out there. Many.
She thinks we're leaving?
I just wanted to thank you for that laugh that one time when Natalie said something funny.
Of course. Natalie's the funny one.
Anyways,
Of course
it's
she's
a
the funny
bummer
one.
that things didn't work out and everything, but I guess I'll see you guys around. Or not. No worries.
Amanda.
Bye.
Or not.
Or not. We're seeing you 2 weeks.
We're not retiring. Why did
Also,
we're not retiring?
Are they getting us mixed
Wait,
up
are
with
we
the Dice
retiring?
Tower?
Do you guys
No
know
one
something
told
I
me.
don't know?
I figured you were in charge. You would know more than us.
No, okay, that was not what I thought. Okay, let's bring it back and go to Sam.
Sam's always nice.
Yeah.
She loves us.
Hey, Gamecasters. Welcome
Hey.
to 2022. Happy New Year. I thought
Thanks,
I'd help
Happy
you
New Year.
celebrate by coming up with a few resolutions for you. So for starters, why not try a new hobby? Maybe you could try being quiet for like 5 minutes. Or maybe Ryan could actually try playing some of the games he's collected.
Shut up, Sam.
It's also a good idea to bring in
Burn.
some money in the new year. So why not ditch the
Yeah.
podcasting equipment
No.
and make a few bucks? Everyone wins.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, enjoy the new year. Maybe I'll see you. Hopefully not. But yeah, take care.
Oh, Sam.
Why not? What the hell?
Mean.
Okay, well, I expected to cry for
I thought these
a
were our
different
number
reason.
one fan.
This
This
is
isn't
not
going
the
well.
reason. All right, so the last one here is Dan and Kim.
Oh, he's like the nicest ever.
Hey, Gamecasters, it's the Burrito Man Dan,
Yeah,
Kim.
Burrito.
and based on the birds in the background, we're live at the aviary. We're just going to wish you guys a happy New Year's, and I'm going to be really sad to see you guys do your last episode in January.
We're not
I don't think
retiring.
it's going to be the last episode in January. I think they're going to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for how long?
Probably forever and ever.
Oh,
Yes.
Does anyone even still, like, listen?
Dad!
Oh, hey, it's still recording.
We're going
So
on
anyway,
forever
guys,
and
we
ever.
love you a lot,
Oh,
and I can't wait to see you at Nerdfest. So, bye!
Happy New Year.
I think we need to
Okay,
start revoking some invites.
I was gonna say all these people
So
are coming over.
here's to you, loyal listener base.
Yay, thanks.
And apparently, goodbye. This
Thanks,
is the end, of
listeners.
the end of the Gamecasters.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, 2022 is obviously starting out
How
great for
rude.
us. Jeff, why don't you talk a little bit about how 2021 ended for you?
Oh, listen, it's
In
been
a good
great.
way, right?
Not. So
I missed the not
here's
joke.
how it ended. Yeah,
We haven't had not jokes
Like,
in a while. Let's
nah.
bring back the not joke.
psych.
That's it.
Actually, a psych.
This
joke.
suit is black knot.
Yeah, before it.
So the two things that ended my 2021 are I currently have COVID, so we are recording remote for the first time since I don't know.
Well, you said like episode 40 something.
50,
Since
something
we were
around there.
quarantining in 2020.
That April, May, June, where everybody was locked down the whole country.
Yeah, lockdown.
Yeah.
Of 19. So
Yeah,
it's been a
like a
long
year and
time.
a half
so now
ago?
we're recording again. So I couldn't avoid the COVID bullet for much longer.
Damn.
Thankfully, I have some pretty mild symptoms. You might be able to hear I'm a little like congested, but pretty mild.
I don't believe you. I think
symptoms.
it's a don't get got thing.
Sound fine to
That's
me.
what I think it is.
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's
what it
just
is.
don't get got.
Yeah.
It didn't work with. It didn't work out with your ankle.
Yeah. No one cared about
Don't
that.
get got.
No one cared about a
Convince
serious
people you have
leg injury.
COVID.
So now he's just like, Jeff, are you okay? Gotcha.
Gotcha.
That'd be a very elaborate don't get got if you
That
had
would
if
be,
you
yeah.
actually contracted COVID. The card's like contract coronavirus and then get your friends to care about
Get your
you.
friends to ask about it. Don't go over their house. Or if I would have just showed up on your doorstep this morning and been like,
Yeah.
got
Yeah. Jeff, what? Gotcha. You
so
been got.
thankfully we're okay. Like I have it, Devin has it, my son Jack has COVID, but it's
Aw.
pretty mild. I think that's like new strand and vaccine doing its job and all that kind of stuff.
For
So,
sure.
Yeah.
The frustrating part, and I guess good and frustrating, is we both have to take like a couple days off this week because according to the state of Michigan and CDC, we can't go back to work tomorrow. So
Oh,
we're
really?
supposed to go back to work. I tested again yesterday and I'm still positive, so I
Still
can't go
positive.
back to work for a few days. Devin
Damn.
can't go back to work for a few days.
Well, you're a very positive person.
Yeah.
So that makes
Well,
sense.
that's like one of the
Yeah.
things too that's so confusing about like when you have COVID and what to do, because I remember my mom when she had COVID, I think it might have been like a month after she had it. She was totally fine. No more symptoms. She had no more symptoms for a while, and she was going to go to Jamaica on a vacation, and she couldn't go if she tested positive, and she still tested positive like a month later, even
Yeah.
though she was completely over it.
That like brain
So-
swirling one where they stick that thing all the way up in your brain,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like tests positive for a long time. I've just been doing the
Yeah.
at home like antigen test.
right. The rectal one.
Yeah. Right. That one goes real far up there.
Yeah.
That one's good.
Yeah. And it's not supposed to, but it's more
a
fun.
real bulbousy Q-tip too. It's
It's
real
very veiny.
It's like
It's a big, meaty, veiny
Q-tip. It goes woo. It goes up there.
Did you get the double donger Q-tip so you and Devin
Yeah,
can test at
yeah,
the same
yeah.
time?
Oh my
time.
gosh.
Yeah.
Hopefully Joe's not in the
Is
car
it-
with his kids listening to this.
I don't know. That might be better than the Santa Claus thing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. More acceptable.
Yeah, right.
Damn.
So yeah, we're getting through that, and then.
Well, luckily that's the only thing you've had to deal with, right? There's
Right, of
nothing
course.
else.
So one day,
Especially
I
not
don't
the same
remember
day
even
you
what day it
tested
was now at
positive.
this point.
It was the day you tested positive.
It was.
Yeah,
It
so
was
what
the
was that,
same day
Tuesday?
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was the same day you told us that you had it.
So
Yeah.
Tuesday. So Tuesday I wake up, not
Wednesday,
only with
Tuesday.
COVID, but I wake up and I am like completely logged out of my Instagram account. So the @MadBoardGamer account is logged out, and I'm like, okay.
And that never happens, right? You don't ever
It's
just
never
log
happened,
out,
right? It's on your phone,
Yeah.
so it always just
Yeah, it's
logs
just
you in,
always
logs you
logged in,
So I'm like,
yeah.
okay, well, what's going on? So I try to like get back in, and I type in the password. It said that's not your password, and then it says, did you forget your password? I'm like, maybe, sometimes you change passwords and whatever. So I click that, and it's like, all right, we're going to send you a link to your phone to log back in. I'm like, okay, and then it sends a link to not my phone number, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. And as soon as I send that
So
link,
how did you know that? Did it say like we're sending a link and then it said a
Yeah.
phone number you don't recognize?
so it gives
Probably
you
the last
like
4
the first
digits.
3 digits and then the last 2. So it's like we're sending
Got
an SMS to this, right?
Right.
And it's this,
And you're like, no.
yeah. So it's this weird, 234 country code, which we find out later is Nigeria. So that Nigerian prince that everyone was getting money to in the 90s with their email is
Yep, he's taking it
coming
back. Yep.
So that goes. I'm like, what is going on? And I get then a text message from this other number that's not the number there that says, "Hey, your Instagram account ... and that's it. So I'm like,
Wow.
so I don't respond to that, right? That's just some
Like,
phishing.
thanks for that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
just some
for
phishing,
sure.
right? They're trying to say, like, I'm going to text and be like, give me my password, and they're going to be like, give me
Yeah.
$50 or something,
Right.
Like, buy me iTunes, or that Russian that
Right.
attacked you.
Right. Buy me that double dog or Q-tip COVID test I've been wanting.
I know what
need
you
it.
did.
We can't get it here in Nigeria. I need the double. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm locked out. And
Yeah.
I go through all these steps, basically. Like, it's like, all right, you don't have the password. You don't have the email set up, or this email. It's just like, when you click on the having trouble, or you click on the like next or help me out kind of thing, there's like 6 or 7 choices, and I'm clicking on all those. I'm doing all that kind of stuff. I had to take a video of my face, like turning from side to side to verify that it was me. But one of the things is like, do you take pictures of your own face? And I'm like, well, I have one.
Yeah, there's a
Hey, how do
couple.
they know
Yeah, there's like a couple of them.
So
are?
now I might need to start taking pictures of my face, so everyone on Instagram
Just in
can't
case
see
this
my
happens again. Good
ugly
Lord.
mug. But then I send in a picture of my face, and they're like, we can't verify that it's you because I only have 1 or 2 pictures, so I understand that. And I then I get this email from Instagram that's like, you can fill out this little form that says when was the last time you logged in and what phone number did you use, and all this kind of just questionnaire stuff. Like, okay. So I'm messaging people, I'm talking to you guys, I'm trying to get, you were great and posted this thing that said like, Jeff's out of his account, don't talk to him, don't message him, whatever, it's not
Right.
him.
Fuck Jeff right now.
Don't
Yeah.
send him any money.
And Kelly did the same thing, Geek Sheet Gamer did the same thing, and I was like, okay, well, let me just keep going through the steps, and I kept going over and over again through all these like things and Googling it and reading articles about what people did, and it seemed like fucking hopeless. Like everything seemed like, well, you're
I didn't
out.
tell you this either, Jeff, but like people were messaging me like crazy, right? Like trying to help and stuff like
That
that.
was so
there
nice,
there was like 3 or 4 people that were like, "Man, I've seen this happen before, and it never ends well."
I know. That's
Like they were like, "I don't think he's gonna get it." Like they weren't like trying to be jerks. They were just kind
Yeah.
of like, "I feel so terrible," but like my cousin went through this, and all Instagram could do was shut the account down.
Yeah. And
That was like
that's
it,
where I
like
thought I was
getting
gonna
it back was like not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so mad at this guy. I was messaging him, and I was like, I reduced myself to like a middle school like freshman.
Yeah.
like I was like, your big ugly face is as dumb as a butt. Give me my friend his account back. And I'm like yelling at him, and then the account guy writes back and says, I assure you, I'm real. I was not hacked off my account.
Yeah.
Like, okay, bro.
Go hack
And he
off
sent
somewhere
that same
else, man.
message to everybody.
Yeah. I'm gonna hack off on your face. You
Yeah,
son of a
so
bitch.
and then eventually as I kept trying to get back into the account, I think Instagram then like used my IP address on my phone and was like, you can't keep trying to log into this, and kind of like blocked me, thinking
Yeah,
like I was
You're
the
hacking
robot.
him.
I was
Now
the
you're
hacker,
hacking him.
right?
Yeah.
So now whenever I click on need help or whatever, it just says try again later. So I'm like, that's the last 12 hours. I was like, I'm just locked out and I can't do anything. So this is where we, found this guy Juan, who is apparently this actual hacker who will go in and hack your account for you. And
Yep.
he's just like crazy things that I was trying to do. I messaged Jamie Stegmeyer to be like, you live in California, do you know anybody? I messaged, people who I knew that lived in California, just to be like, maybe you have a friend that could help me.
Right.
And so I went to bed that Tuesday night like, well, I'm just kind of screwed. Like, I looked up, I made sure I had...
You prayed to Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, I had the...
In bed at night.
I was making sure I had, like, the Mad Board Gamer account. I'm like, all right, maybe I'll just try to start. But I would have lost all the conversations I've had with people. I would have never got all of those back, right? You get some back.
Sucked.
I know the Sams and the Janelles and people who listen would come back, but, like, you're never going to get the random people that I've just met and talked to and
like a
Trivia
seasoned
Geek,
pan.
like Dan lives in Michigan, and you're like, dude, it's just like, oh.
Exactly.
So
a seasoned pan is now clean. You lost all of the seasoning.
Yep. So I was just, and the more and more I thought about that, the more angry I got and like really, really disappointed. And so I woke up the next morning, and you had texted me a couple articles that I read, and the same kind of like stuff of like good luck sort of thing. And then Kim. The should we call her like the burrito woman?
Yeah, Dan the burrito lady, or Kim the
burrito lady. So Kim messaged me and was like, "Hey, have you tried some of this stuff?" She's texted me, and I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of what I've done. That's all I've done." And she was like, "Can I just call you and maybe walk you through some of the stuff?" I was like, "Sure, let's call." We talked, and as I'm on the phone with her, I'm trying to do that need help, and it's like try again later, and as I'm on the phone with her, I click it once, and it lets me, like, do the next step again. For the first time in 24 hours, it lets me just kind of open that back up and has, like, a security code. And I'm like, all right, I know I don't have a security code, so we got to figure something out.
Yeah.
So one of the emails that I had got from Instagram, shockingly, said, use this, like, go in, log into your account, and when you log into your account, use this security code. And I'm like, well, I can't fucking log into my account because I don't have the password, right?
That's the whole point of this.
It's that dumb thing of like, oh, you forgot your password? Well, log in. It's like,
log in. Yeah.
So I just happened to get that email the day before, and I typed in that security code into that box a couple times, and it just like let me change my password. And I changed it, and I went in there, and I like wiped out this guy's phone number and like logged out of all the accounts and like added 16-step authentication and like all this kind of stuff to it to try to hope this never happens again.
So you got it back.
I got it back. It had to be a combination of Kim, luck, and luck. That it all just came back. It was just like Kim's like presence on the phone allowed Instagram to let me back in.
Yeah. They were like, oh shit, Kim the burrito lady's here? All right, guys, reverse it.
Well, because it was
change it up.
As I'm on the phone, she was like, yeah, Dan sometimes just says I have like this kind of luck about me, and that some things just kind of happen when I'm looking into stuff, and it just happened.
Wow.
So I'm back in, hopefully a little more secured. I learned that password probably isn't the best password.
You try password 123.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go password 1. And then so I'm doing
or you know what I heard is a really good one is your birthday. That's a great. I've heard that's a good. Well, because it's easy because you remember it.
Yeah, so you type in
that's very secure.
YOURBIRTHD.
Your
birthday.
Right. Yeah, exactly. If you want to make it like trickier to hack into, spell your with like apostrophe RE.
Ooh. Or maybe I'll just type in Devin's birthday.
Yeah.
Devin's birthday. Yeah, so hopefully this is locked in, and I know since then I know like you guys change your password to make sure everything. I had a bunch of people message me and said that they all went through and made sure everything was up to date and secured on their end.
Well, it's scary because people see it happen to you. And, you know, first of all, everyone is, like, very upset for you. But more selfishly, I think people are like, oh, my God, if this can happen to him, this can happen to me.
Right.
And
like,
I'm a nobody.
How do I stop that?
I'm a nobody. It's not like I'm making money. It's not like I'm some influencer
that's the weird
or
thing.
have the check mark or am this, like... I'm not making money off of
like, what was
games.
the point of that?
Right, that's what I wonder.
Maybe that's what they do. Maybe they go after lower profile people because it'd be, you know, harder for them to maybe respond. Maybe if they go after somebody like super famous or checkmarked,
then Instagram's
you know, they
help them out.
Yeah, they have more. They have less of a chance of succeeding.
Yeah, they.
Like if Selena Gomez gets hacked, or people know it's not Selena.
Yeah,
Gomez.
and so then if he gets like 2 or 3 people to click on his ad, that he sent out, then he wins.
Like
that's all he needs. You know, right, like per account.
Yeah,
maybe he was just a nice guy and he was like, you know what, I'll let him have it back.
Yeah, and so that night, the night that I was like panicking, right, they posted something, right? They made this post about making money in
Yes.
Bitcoin and Chase and
And
posted
And they're
other
real.
Account.
yeah. And the stories, and it was like, that's when people started to like blow it up. So when I got back in, I went through about 50 messages from people who I talked to, and 50 messages were like, F you, give Jeff his account back. No, you're not real. And they just like berated this account over, which was so awesome. And it was so cool to go and read this. And then I went through and spent like a couple hours after that sending probably 100 messages to people in my chat that were like, sorry you got this post, because I wanted to send it to like publishers. And, you know, Blue Orange got a message from me that was like, make Bitcoin. And I'm like, God. So I messaged
You want them to know that you're back. Don't delete my
I'm
account
like,
or
please
anything.
don't like, so thankfully it all worked out. I had the back.
You got like a lot of hate love letters, right?
Yes.
It was like you see all that hate directed at somebody who's not you, and you're like, oh, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, you know what? I
you
agree.
would kill
Fuck that
people
guy.
for me.
Yeah.
Fuck that motherfucker.
So thankfully I'm back. The Instagram community like rallied and kind of like, you know, it felt good. It felt like I had a family, a team behind me to try to.
You do, man.
That's awesome.
So.
Yep, we got your back. We will pillage and tort. What is it? Pitchforks.
Yeah,
we'll go after the giant ogre.
So I don't think that this woman. So I got tagged. This woman was tagged in
Mentor Elizabeth.
Mentor Elizabeth. So she's apparently this Bitcoin genius. So if you want to make like $6,000 in 10 minutes or something,
right?
Go to Mentor.
I want to be her
Elizabeth.
protege.
I don't think that was the. Obviously, I think
Hacker.
that person was fake.
Yeah.
Mentor.
Joe said he clicked on it, and all of the posts that were on that account were posted in the same day.
Yeah, it's weird. So they set up.
Yeah, that was just the way
accounts.
to scheme. Yeah, right.
Right.
That's just the way they used to scam people.
Yeah, it sucked. But I'm back, thankfully. Still have
Thank
COVID,
goodness.
but I'm back into my Instagram account. So now I have something to do while I'm like, sitting at home.
That's amazing. And again, possibly the most elaborate "don't get got" I've ever experienced.
Yeah. Boom.
Great job.
I don't have COVID and hack myself. What?
yeah. Oh, man. Wow, you had to beat Gamer Dog.
Yeah.
Got it in before
Well, damn,
the new
dude, I'm
year.
glad that you're on the mend in both digital and physical forms.
Yes, thank you.
And that's really exciting. Okay, that's the shit. What's the good stuff happening for you? Are you watching anything new? Are you doing anything new? What's going on?
Well, you know, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We've gone through those two things.
Right.
I did get the new for Christmas. I only got one board game, which was
okay.
Good. I don't need more than that. I got Terraforming
you don't have room for more
Mars.
than that.
Is it Ares Expedition? Is that the?
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Hearing what you think.
Me too. That was like my. There was other games that I was really interested in, like Great Western Trail or Fields of Arl. These kind of games that have always kind of sat in my head of like I really want. And the new Terraforming Mars, I think will hit the table a lot more than those. Being like a 60-minute game, card game. Devin likes Terraforming Mars, so I'm pumped about playing that. And then Devin and I started watching your recommendation of Billions.
Hell yeah.
And
hell yeah. Tell us about that.
Devin, I think, said it best, and I think you guys have also said this, that the show is so different from my life that it's really interesting and intriguing, right?
Yeah.
That, like, these people are playing with billions of dollars.
And, like it's nothing.
Right.
And it's almost not, I like that it's not about the money. It's just like, these guys want to win. Like, the money doesn't matter. They just want to win something.
Well, they have so much that it's not even a thing.
Yeah, that guy has so much money that it's not like, what's $50 million to him? Nothing.
Right. That's Christmas bonus.
Yeah. The acting is great. Like, Paul Giamatti's great. Damien Williams is great. Damian Williams? Damian Williams?
Damian Lewis?
Damian Lewis. Damian Williams is one of the
oh, yeah.
Is he the guy in White Chicks?
Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans. Yes, Damon Wayans is in it.
I was like, it's not the Williams brothers.
Man, the acting is so... Paul Giamatti, Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans. His brother, the other Wayans brother. All three.
Keenan Ivory, Wayans. Marlon Wayans.
But yeah, the cast
Lawrence,
is really good. So
yeah, they're
we're gonna
very
keep
good.
watching it. We're some seasons behind, obviously. We just started season 1, but it's definitely something that we'll keep watching. It's
very cool.
Yeah, it's very
good. It gets really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's great out the gate.
Yeah.
But it gets very awesome.
Yeah.
There was a moment in time where we were watching it and we were just like, I think this might be the best show that's on TV right now. So when just saying that out loud to yourself, it's something that's really special.
Yeah. What are you guys watching? What are you guys doing?
Well, we're almost through
We're in the last season of
Schitt's Creek.
Okay.
I am liking it a little better.
Okay.
I'd say he's liking it better. He's definitely been like laughing out loud here and there.
There's a couple really funny moments. Like there was this one, I'm not going to say many. I'll just say one moment. There's this one funny moment where the sister in the show, her name is Alexis.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about the show, they're basically this rich family who lost everything, and they're one brother who tried to keep them all together. No, so they lost everything, and then they end up moving forcefully to this town that they own when they were rich called Schitt's Creek, and it's just a podunk nothing town. Okay, so that's the story. So they're like these rich like socialite people, and they're all like hoity-toity, and they're living in this like normal,
really small town,
rundown, really small town. Yeah. But so the daughter Alexis, she has this boyfriend who's like moving to the Galapagos for 6 months to do this job thing, and he's like, I want you to come with me. I don't know, this made me laugh so hard, but she's like, I just don't know if I can. I mean, my laptop's here. And I like lost my mind.
Yeah. That's not the part I thought you were going to say. He also lost his mind when they convinced David to play sub in for their baseball.
Well, I just figured that would take longer to explain. But
but he would like basically hit the ball and was like running.
He's running the bases, holding the bat. He's running like really daintily, and then he gets hit in the back with a baseball. And he's like, ugh. Yeah. So those two moments, I laughed very hard. Yeah. But I like really remember those two specific moments that I laughed out loud, right? Where like The Office, that happens every episode. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like
not The Office.
It doesn't have the laughs that I was expecting it to have. And I kind of wished that it would like have gotten more. I don't know. It hasn't totally gripped me, I'll say. Yeah. I think it's really good. I do think it's a good show. Yeah. Like when we sit down, we usually watch a few episodes at lunch at work on our lunch break. We'll watch like 2 episodes. I enjoy it. Yeah. Like I'm not like, I guess we got to get through this. I'm kind of like, okay, let's watch this show. So I think it's okay.
And it's gotten to the point where like the last couple seasons where you get a little emotional during some of the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make you care.
Yeah.
I wish that happened more often, to be honest. I feel like that happens once every like 12 episodes, and then the rest of it's just kind of,
I think toward the end, like Natalie says, toward the end you do get a little more of that. Because they go from being these like just like ignorant to normal life to kind of like blending in, and that kind of changes things. But yeah, I agree.
And
it's
you
not
kind of
like
go ahead, roll your eyes at them, and then now you're kind of like, oh, they're like evolving and like they're becoming like more relatable and like
right.
Good
he turned
people.
into Raichu, and one of them turned into Charizard.
Yeah, you got
evolving.
No.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. You're totally right. I like it. You liked it too, right, Jeff?
Yeah, I liked it. I'm not. I don't.
You probably feel the way I do.
Yeah, I don't put it in the category with my top like 4 or 5. Right? I don't put it in the 30 Rock, Office, Arrested Development, Parks and Rec category, but it's a great show to just have on in the background when we're playing games, to have those little laughs.
Yeah.
But I know people like it's like their favorite thing ever. They've watched it 10
people
times.
go nuts for
one of our good friends, Christy, has probably watched it 10 times through and is like
she has
like bumper stickers and like that's like her favorite thing ever.
Wow. I was talking to Sam last night and she said she's watched it 3 times through.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny
crazy.
too. Like one of the big taglines is "You, David." "You, David."
Yeah.
and I like watched something and they said that she only actually says that like 3 times in the entire show.
It's just I think it's the perfect timing when she does it, right? It's
I know because she says all kinds of things. She'll be like, like, "No, David," like, "Oh my God, David."
Why is it so funny when she says his fucking name? It's so funny.
It is. Because she says his name, and she even said like, I tried to use his name as much as I possibly could in like every
it's funny.
line.
That's really funny. David in general I think is the best character personally.
Yeah, he's funny.
So it's a good show. It's definitely a good show. If you haven't watched Schitt's Creek, I would say watch it. I wouldn't say personally that it's like I kind of agree with
essential?
Jeff. It's not it's not a Gamecasters essential show. Are we going to start like an essential show like it's not essential.
Anymore,
I think they already know.
Yeah, we don't play games anymore.
Seriously.
Yeah, we'll just like slowly shift and bring everybody with us into whatever the hell we're interested in this year.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what we've been watching.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you have anything else, Natalie, you want to talk about?
Yeah, so Ryan streams for the Gamecasters.
Yep, Tuesday,
Thursday, Sunday.
Thursday and Sunday, and this past what was it?
Tuesday and Thursday, I think.
Yeah,
Tuesday and
it was
Thursday.
on Tuesday. Yep. He was like about to stream, and the last second he was like, "I think you should do it. Like, why don't you go on there?" And I was like, "What? No!" Like, and that's just not something I've ever thought I would ever do. I don't feel like I would be good at it. I'm not like Ryan. I can't just like nonstop talk to like nobody.
You can. You just think it's annoying.
Well, I just like, I don't know. It's just, it's not like natural to me. I'm not, you're like a radio personality type guy. And
you think so, huh?
Yeah, of course.
You went to school for
in your
personality.
genes.
Yeah, right. That's where I started.
I don't know. And so like, I don't know why I said yes, but I was just like, okay. And then I got so nervous and I just jumped on the stream. And ended up doing it for like 3 hours, and I thank everybody who was on the chat engaging with me. That really helped.
You did
but
great.
it ended up being really fun. And I also want to thank Sam, Miss French Toast, for being on the phone with me. We were playing GeoGuessr, and then at the end, Dan had a great idea to like horribly explain movies, and then we would try to like guess what the movie was, and it was just like a really fun time. And I was like, I can't believe it's been 3 hours.
Yep, that's how it goes.
So that was like really exciting and a big step for me. I did it again for a little while on Thursday too. If you want to go back and look,
with
the first
Scarlett.
hour of it, I had Scarlett on with me.
It was so funny because I told her beforehand, because I was like, do you want to stream tonight? Because we had just her. So Cameron was on a date with his mother, like just them two, and then Lexi was spending the night at a friend's house. So we just had Scarlett. And so I was like, and we had to stream, and I was like, you're the only one here. Do you want to stream? And she was like, fuck, yes, I do, you son of a fuck,
idiot.
Wow. Like, God damn, of fucking like, course I do, bitch.
That's bad word.
Of fucking course I do, Dada.
Yeah, Dada.
So,
fuck yeah,
so
Dada.
she gets on stream, and I told her beforehand, I'm like, listen, if you're going to do this, you have to be normal. You can't, like, because she'll do this thing. All kids do this when they know there's a camera on them. They just act different.
Yeah, they don't.
Like
they act all weird.
and they just
they
think
don't
it's
talk
funny,
normal.
or they don't know what to do.
Yeah, they just make noises.
They don't know what to do. It's like it's a very weird thing. I mean, it's like that with everybody. When you put a camera on somebody, they typically act different,
right?
Unless they've been, unless they're used to it. And so I was like, you can't do that. If you do, we're gonna have to take you off stream, and it's just switch it up.
You're out.
Yep, change it up. That's gonna. So she was like, okay. So she was like, really took it seriously. And so she was on, and she kept saying stuff like, she was like, she must have just watched me stream before or something, because they were playing, Natalie and Scarlett were playing Animal Crossing. And Scarlett's like, okay, everybody, so this is how we dig up, bones from the ground.
You take the fossil to the museum.
And Natalie's like, oh, you're sure you do that? She's like, well, yeah, Natalie, this is my first time streaming.
But it was so cool. It was interesting that she like knew to like explain what she was doing, and she was doing it to the people that she can't see, she can't read, so she doesn't know they're like talking to us, unless I like read it to her. So it was just interesting because like it's not like they watch Ryan stream every time he streams. Usually he streams when they go to bed, so they might catch like 10 minutes of it or something. So it was kind of funny like seeing her just like pick that up instantly.
It was cool.
It's in her blood.
It's in her blood.
Cool.
James broadcasting blood.
Yep, she's got it in her blood. She's the radio host of the future.
And then there was like, I kept trying to like, because I didn't want it to be silent, so I kept trying to like ask her questions, or somebody would like ask a question in the chat. And there was one point she was like playing Jumping Joe, and
game.
And I was and I like asked her something, and she like didn't answer me, and I kind of nudged her like, like, what do you think? And she was just like, I can't talk, I'm playing Jumpin' Joe, almost like, leave me alone. And I was like, no, we're on stream.
And then she was like, Natalie, I'm not here to stream with you, I'm here to stream with them.
That's right. I was like, do you want to ask me a question? And she's like, I'm not here to stream with you, I'll ask the people questions. Like,
she's
sorry.
5. Yeah, she's 5. Anyway, so that was really, really cool that Natalie streamed. Jeff, if you ever want to do that, it would be awesome if you streamed on the account sometime too. That would just be really cool. I like getting all of us involved, definitely. And it was really cool for me to not have to fucking do it, and I could just play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It took me a while to like remember to like do what I'm to like multitask, like do what I'm doing,
you gotta pay
and
attention
check
to
the
chat.
I'd be like really behind, so I feel like I figured it out halfway
It was cool.
through.
You did great. No, I thought you did fantastic, for sure. What else? I know there's something else you wanted to talk about.
What it was.
Oh, it's about a sister of yours, kind of a dweeby sister. God. Yeah, maybe the biggest news that's happened. I forgot. What else?
Streaming.
What is there? I streamed. That's the thing. Let's see. We talked about me.
Because you were the one who said. Okay. Anyways, yes, my only sister had a baby a couple days ago.
A bebe.
There's a new bebe in the family.
New bebe.
She had a baby December 30th, and I'm going, after we record the podcast, to meet my new nephew, our new nephew.
Peyton William Cadlick.
Yep.
Did I just dox him?
And
I might have just doxed him.
Very
His
very
address
excited.
is.
Yeah. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
It's the
congratulations, Aunt Natalie, Uncle Ryan.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's super cool. It is super cool. Yeah, we can't wait to meet the little guy.
Yeah,
It's very awesome.
healthy mom and baby.
Yep, everybody's healthy.
Yep.
She
Good.
came home yesterday from the hospital, and everything's good.
Yeah, everybody's good to go.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Frankie and Kyle if they're
congrats.
listening. I know they're listening right now because they listen to every episode that talks about them. And we'll tell them tonight or when we go over there. We're going to be like, just so you know, we talk about you in the new episode.
You may as well tell them the
listen, boom.
timestamp. 35 minutes or so we talk about
I think
you.
we're all like that, though, aren't we? If we know that there's somebody
You wanna hear
talking
what
about
they're
us
gonna
in
say
some
about
way
you?
on like a podcast or a video or something, that's all I want to go.
Oh,
I even
definitely.
listen to the snobs when Jerry just rips on me. I'm like, ooh, Jerry talks
yeah.
about me.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah. Jerry
He's
hates
talking
me.
about me.
He hates me. Let me go on.
Yeah,
JF.
exactly. Like
Not
they're
like Jeff.
they are going. That was actually really good.
Yeah.
I like everyone except Jeff. No, they were giving me a lot of shit about the Gateway Network recently. Okay, for one, and I do want to talk about that really quickly before we move on to talk about games. Is the Gateway is kind of rebooting in 2022.
Yeah.
So last year, I talk about this all the time, but very terrible year. A lot of things happened. My father passing away being the main bad thing that happened, and that happened right when the Insties was like supposed to get off the ground, and that ended up not happening because again of my father's passing, and so that I kind of like the Gateway just kind of fell away when it comes to, like doing new things for it. So all the members that are in it currently, still shouting each other out, that stuff's still happening, but we're rebooting. We're starting fresh in 2022. We're going to, there's two people who I think are going to take over the management of the Instagram account, which is great because they're going to post a lot more than I ever would, just because I'm just so bad at posting to social media for whatever reason. It doesn't come naturally to me to just do that. It's like I actually have to like think about it and work at it. And so for that reason, I would love to give it to somebody who maybe won't be that way. And so there's two people in the network, Kelly Geek Sheet Gamer, and Allie from Family Meeple, and they have agreed
awesome.
to take that on. So that is
They're
very
great
awesome
at Instagram as well.
Yes, absolutely. I thought the same thing. I was like, oh my God, what better two people could have stepped up?
I tried and then I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah, it's just
I
like
tried
hard
too.
to it's hard to keep up with
We're
it,
the worst.
but I really want to because I want to stay in the forefront of people's minds. But so we are that now accepting new members. I just put somebody up on the website. I think that they just got up there. But so anyway, so Gabi and Jerry were like doing a Gateway thing. Oh, so Boards on Tables is the new account that's on the website. So you can go check out Boards on Tables on thegatewaynetwork.com. But so Gabi was like giving me shit because he's like, let's go to the Gateway and talk about the members. He's like, there's what board game, the Gamecasters, top of the table, being friends. And he's like, where the hell? I don't see us. We're not even on the front page. He's like, oh, there's so many. Maybe there's another page. No other page. What the hell? We're not even on here. What's going on? So what's going on is I asked several times for a bio and pictures. That's what I asked from every member of the Gateway. You send me bios. I'm sorry, a bio, a short biography. I'm not going to make it for you. And pictures. I can't get pictures. I'm not just going to go rip them off your Instagram. I need those things, and then you will be on the website. This is the mandate that's been since the inception of the Gateway, and I just haven't gotten that yet from our dear, dear friends of the Board Game Snobs. So believe me, I want nothing more than to have you on our website.
Just do one thing.
You just do the one thing. You guys are definitely the like, big name.
Yeah,
and
that they
we
probably
have.
do like.
So believe me, I want you on the website.
They probably shout us out more than most.
Yeah.
Too.
Okay, that's one other thing. Okay, so we're kind of like trading blows back and forth, but Gabi and Jerry have been more involved with helping, and they submitted a ton of recordings to me that I played on the show. They seem to shout us out multiple times, whether it's making fun of us or whatever they're doing. It fits into their shtick.
Yeah,
and I love hearing them do that because they're actually contributing, and it makes me feel awesome. So I want you guys on the damn website. It's not me.
I just woke up from that.
What's that?
The way you said awesome was like startled me awake. Almost.
Hey, Natalie's awake. Smelling salts of awesome. No, so honestly, they have helped a ton. You know, people like them and Jared Meeple Mentor did a gateway segment on his video.
Yep.
Right, and
Phil did a gateway.
Phil, regularly has gateway people go into like his contests, you know, that he runs, and so Superboard Sunday they talk about the gateway often, and so we need more of that from all of us, including us. And so that's going to happen more in 2022. You're going to hopefully see more things come out of the gateway. Unfortunately, because the insties didn't happen, somebody else kind of stepped in. There are Instagram Gaming Awards now from a different account. Fine, great, all power to them. That's fantastic. I do apologize, though, to everybody who was involved in the insties that just spent a lot of time coming up with categories, coming up with nominees, and nothing happened from that. But
life happens.
Yeah, life just got in the way. So we will get more involved in the gateway moving forward.
Nice.
Do you have anything else, Natalie, that you want to talk about? Any other family business? I talked about me streaming. That's it. That's the only thing I could think of.
Stop it. We had Christmas. It was great. All right, let's talk about games.
Jeff, do you have anything else before we talk about what we've been playing?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, man. Let's talk about the game we've played.
All right, here we go. Okay, so I played a game with my wife, and Ryan played a game with his wife.
That's right.
Natalie.
We're so
it's
alike.
the same game.
Oh, that does not happen. We do not coordinate
was it the
this
same
often.
day?
No, it was
No.
It was the day.
We played the day after.
Yeah,
know,
so we played New Year's Eve, and then you guys played yesterday, I think. But
New Year's
NYD.
Day.
it was kind of like I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago, like, hey, let's maybe try to play this. But I had set up, learned the game, and I was like, what are you guys doing on New Year's? And you asked me, and I said, we're going to play this game. And you were like, oh, we're going to play it too. So it was kind of random, but I'm glad we both played it.
Yeah.
So you're going to hear some variety of opinions, I think.
Absolutely.
On this one. So this game, this is a hot game. Hot.
I couldn't even touch the box. I had to wear my heated gloves.
Yeah.
Your heated gloves?
Yeah. My heat-resistant gloves.
Heat-resistant.
Sorry. I guess the gloves aren't
These
heated.
gloves are really hot.
Yeah, my heat-resistant gloves. I do wear my heat-resistant gloves.
Yeah. So this game is called Bitoku.
Bitoku.
Or I'm sure if I had a different inflection or a better inflection, it'd be something else. But Bitoku,
Yeah, it's like butt
like
sex. Did you know that?
Yeah,
Like the French name. Go ahead.
Yeah. So in French, that very similar pronunciation, not the word, but the pronunciation of Bitoku or something very similar in French means cock in the ass.
Yeah. Right. Butt sex.
Oh my god.
And so people are just kind of like, why did you pick this
Like,
name
did you
for this
not,
game?
Like, this is why you gotta do some Googling.
Yeah, like pivot, maybe. Yeah, for a French audience, which honestly would make me purchase the game even faster.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Cock and Ass just came out? Oh, fuck. Yeah, finally.
Cock and ass.
Cock and Ass is here.
So
Gather round, children. We're going to
as I'm saying this, if you are one of our, if you're the one French listener, and as I'm saying Bitoku, oops, sorry, that's the name of the game. So it's published by Devere, and it's designed by, I don't want to say it, but it's kind of a nobody.
Oh my god.
No, I like it. You need to say it.
All right, so
That's the way.
his name is German Million.
Million.
Or it could be like Germain Million, whatever. So, sorry for butchering your name. I'm sure you're listening, of course. And the artist is, I'm going to butcher his name too. Edu Vals. E-D-U Vals. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to start by saying that guy is also a nobody, but this might change it.
Should be a somebody.
This game might change that. This could be a huge launching point for this guy's career because this game is fucking beautiful.
I mean, that's the perfect way to say it. That should be on the box cover from Mad Board Gamer.
Beautiful.
This game is fucking beautiful.
Bitoku.
We need to see more of that kind of thing on game boxes.
Yeah. Bitoku. Cock and ass fucking beautiful.
Fucking beautiful.
It's gorgeous. And I think that's what probably attracted people to it right away, right? Is that cover is just like, oh, you just want to play the game looking at it.
Yep. Totally agree.
So, let's talk about how the game plays. So in Bitoku, I don't know if you guys know the theme, but players are taking the role of Bitoku spirits. So cock and butt spirits.
Yep, cock and ass spirits.
With the goal of being the next great spirit of the forest. Did you know that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Natalie?
Yes.
Yeah, because,
Ryan
so I nerded out a little bit because this game, honestly, so, all right, I love, and I think you've seen a couple of these, Jeff. There's Japanese anime It's called Studio Ghibli. And so Hayao Miyazaki makes these movies, and one of them is themed sort of similarly to this game called Princess Mononoke. And there actually is a spirit of the forest who is basically a giant deer with these huge antlers. So it's like the same kind of thing.
Yeah, I read that was based on I don't know if it was based directly on that, but yeah, people compared it to that.
Similar.
Princess,
yeah, and the artwork looks, oh God. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so that big deer antlery thing, that is the spirit of the forest. And it's essentially retiring at, I don't know, it's 65, and it's going to retire.
Yeah, he's like moving away.
And an AARP member. And now we're one of
Florida.
us, as the players, is going to become that new spirit. Okay? So, of course, you obviously need the help of Kodamas and yokais and all these other things that I have no freaking clue what they are. But you need help from the foresty things in order to be the best. Okay? There is a huge main board. It's a big board. Okay? It's broken up into different areas. Everybody has their own player board, which again is extremely beautiful. On your player board, you have slots for cards. It holds your dice. You have little buildings on there and tokens, and there are these eyeball-looking tokens that looks like if a baby had one eyeball and you wrapped it up and swaddled it, it looks like that. And you can flip it over. And
I actually really liked those. I thought that was incredibly charming.
Yeah, it was cute.
Man, just everything
the
about
eyeball swaddled thing. Yeah, I liked that.
There are spaces for like crystals. It's a very dynamic player board. You're going to be putting things on, taking things off, clothes, and on the player board, of course.
Yes.
So on your turn, the 3 actions seem simple. It's not, because the game's very heavy, but you can either play a card to your player board, you can place one of your dice, or you can move your dice across the river. Those are the 3, or pass. Those are the 3 actions. Seems simple. I looked it up. The BGG weight scale is 3.71.
Wow.
Which puts it in the Underwater Cities Great Western Trail kind of category. And I would say it's on par with Underwater Cities, in my opinion, with the complexity, the weight. Maybe some people think it's heavier. I don't know, but it seemed to click with me like Underwater Cities did. So when you play a card to your board, each card is pretty dynamic and lets you do some action. It might be get a resource, and it might be do an action on the board, right? So the card has an action on it, and when you play the card on your board, you also unlock one of those dice that's on the board. The second thing you can do is you can place one of those dice that you just unlocked with your card. And there are 5 different areas really that you can place these dice, and they all have different action spaces to build buildings, to get crystals on your board, to get these dragonfly tiles and whatever those other one are called. Firefly,
that was the one thing in the game I was like, I don't know what the hell the other one's called. The dragonfly is the top one. What the hell's the bottom one called? I could not remember that to save my life.
Yeah, there was something. It was a different name. It might have been, again, it's not an English name of what it is. So I just called it the bottom
tile.
One.
Yeah, the bottom one.
Right.
Other spaces get you resources. It lets you move around this path that's on the top of the board. So wherever you put your die, you get one of those actions. And then the pips on the die is kind of how strong your action can be. So if you have a lower number, you might only get 1 resource. If you have a higher number, you might get more. Or you might get a discount on building, stuff like that. So your strength of your action is determined by the pips. Not only can you do an action on the space, but you could also take a building action that's connected to that space in any order you want. And the last thing that you can do on your turn is you can actually take your die that you've already placed on the board and cross the river. And when you cross the river, you go to these other action spaces that allow you to add cards to your hand and to your deck, create another path, or do these other sort of like options that help you get points. And that's what you do, or you pass. So you do that 4 times. So it's 4 years is what the game calls it. And that's essentially 4 rounds. There's different phases, of course. And then the person at the end, there's end game points for a whole bunch of different things. Person at the end is, they're the best spirit of them all.
They become the new spirit of the forest.
They are the new spirit of the forest. I was the green. I played with green. Yes.
So did Natalie.
I was the new ruler of the forest.
Nice.
Did you play with purple then? Was that the rule?
No, I was the brown.
Ooh, the brown. Okay.
I liked that. I was like, you don't often see like brown translucency dice.
No, but it worked.
And it really, I thought it was awesome. So yeah, I was the brown. Yeah. Brown Town became the spirit of the forest in our game.
Because I was setting everything up, and I saw the dice colors, and one's like a clear, and then there's the brown, the purple, and the green, and I didn't think the clear is the clear yellow. I was like,
Yeah,
'cause
it's
usually
yellow.
I'm yellow,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'll just be green because there's no yellow. And then when I started to
Yep.
unpack, I'm like, oh, there is a yellow. Whatever, I'll be
Yep.
green. So, how do you want to? Do you want to go first? Do you want to knock the game down and me lift it up, or do you want?
Well, honestly,
knock it
I don't know
down
that.
after?
I don't know that I'm going to knock the game down as much as. But I can definitely talk about my experience first if you want.
Okay.
Because we had definitely a more roller coastery experience.
Okay. How about you go first? Let's do that.
Okay, cool. So we, like you, were very excited about this game. Really quickly, before I get into exactly how I felt, I wanted to talk about how I acquired this game.
Oh yeah. Good
So
point. Yeah.
So this is PAX U happened a couple weeks ago. And it seemed like every single human being that exists that we know who's in the board gaming content creation world was there, except us.
3 people go to Gen Con to hang out with us, and 500 go to PAX.
Millions of them were at PAX U. Okay, so a lot of people we were talking to who were at PAX U. One of them was Dan the Burrito Man, the amazing benefactor of our show, who we just love so much, right? And have gotten to know over the past year, which is one of the great things about 2021 for us. In a shit year, we met Dan and Kim. So anyway, so Dan is at PAX U, and he's sending me pictures and videos and just chatting me up, like, hey, here's all the cool stuff I'm seeing. And one of them, he sent me a picture of Bitoku. He's like, wow, this looks beautiful. And I was like, oh my God, dude, it does. I want that game so bad. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
2 minutes later, I don't want to exaggerate. 1 minute later, there's a video from the DeVere salesman holding a copy of Bitoku from Dan. This is the video from Dan. And the DeVere salesman is saying, at gunpoint, I'm sure, Gamecasters, this copy is for you.
How cool.
Like happy gaming or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? He just bought it for me. I just offhandedly was like, yeah, that game looks awesome. I want to have that. I want that game.
Yeah, and okay, and
he
just
took that to mean like, I want you to buy it for me.
Yeah, and just to pile on how amazing Dan is, he then messaged me, or obviously at the same time, he messaged me and was like, hey, do you want a copy of this also? I'm like,
yeah, he was going to buy the game for both of us just so we could.
I just got it like the week before. I'm like,
right, from DeVere, right?
Yeah, from like DeVere. I'm like, okay, I'm like so pumped. And then Dan's like, do you want a copy? I'm like, Dan.
Yeah, what a guy.
You are the man.
It makes him happy to do this kind of thing.
And then he called me out with the belt. So we're going to...
That was so
and then
funny.
It wasn't it your birthday, too?
Yeah. And he was
he didn't know that at the time.
Yeah.
I told him later, and he was like, oh, fuck! It was really, really funny.
It was great.
But anyway, all thanks to Dan for our copy of this. Yeah, shout out to Dan.
Thank you.
And Jeff would have gotten a copy, it sounds like, from him as well. So we would have been talking about this either way because of that benefactor of ours. Anyway, okay, so Natalie and I got the game out. And like Jeff said, the board is enormous. In my opinion, overwhelmingly enormous when you're starting out playing. The rule book was not terrible.
Subpar.
But I felt like it was laid out very strangely. I'm reading things on page 8, and it's like, we'll get to that on page 23.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. But then the end game rules are on like page 14. I'm like, what is in between So it was weird and it was a little confusing. I more or less got it, but I went and watched the a couple of videos online, figured it out, and I figured it out fine. The rule set, as Jeff explained, is really not that challenging. Again, you're either playing a card, playing a die, or crossing the river, and it's not a challenging game to understand. There's a ton of iconography, and so I guess learning that is tricky, but it gives you this cool like a player aid, which is very cool.
It's very helpful. Because
normally that information exists in the back of the rulebook, and you're passing it back and forth. Everybody gets this cool player aid, which opens like a book, and it's got all the information, every icon that you could possibly imagine in the game seeing is in there, okay? So, we started playing, and immediately, we were both just kind of like, what do I do?
I know that feeling.
And for the first entire round or two, we were locked up. We were like, locked up like a freshly caught murderer, and there was no escape. You know what I mean? We could not figure out what we should do. It reminded me, Jeff, of when many years ago you played my game and you were just kind of like, I don't really know. Like, you're playing it, but you were like, I don't really know how I'm supposed to try to win this.
Yeah, why am I?
Because everything felt like ancillary. It didn't feel like you had a path, I took from that. And that's how we felt as we were playing this. We were like, okay, everything you do gives you 3 points or 4 points or 2. Like, what am I to do? We have there's these cards you get at the beginning of the game. Well, you get one. It's called a vision card. And it's basically just an end of game victory point card.
Yep.
And it usually gives you about the same amount of points you score doing anything else. But we got these cards and we were able to complete all the things on both of our cards that we got in like by the third turn. Because one of them was like, have a building, have a resource, be at least one spot on your Bitoku track. And I'm like, okay, I have all that. I was like, okay, now what do I do? And so we were just kind of like, And it was not fun at first because of that. Because it felt like every single turn we were starting over. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like we had like, okay, here's my plan I want to achieve. I want to do this, and that. And I'm going to take these steps to get there. And I can't wait. Every turn felt like, okay, now we're back to square one. I guess I'll get this resource to get that. I guess it was. I want to read something really quickly that I found on Board Game Geek, which more adequately explains how we both felt in this moment, and then I'll get to what happened right after that, which is which I didn't expect. Okay, it's very short. Okay,
yeah.
So this is from a review. I didn't clip the guy's name. I'll put it maybe in the show notes of who I'm taking, because this is from Board Game Geek, a review. And this is from a review of a guy who liked the game, okay? But here's what he says about the gameplay. He says, finally, the gameplay is overwhelming at first, which leads to an underwhelming payoff. When trying to figure out all the various cogs of the game's puzzle, it can be difficult to figure out what systems to engage that will lead you to a satisfying experience. And this may be the main thing that will turn some people off. In other words, the game does not specifically push you towards optimized gameplay, which may result in a superficial experience. I think this may be more easily demonstrated through games like Dominion or even Lost Ruins of Arnak, where to get provinces or the 2 amulet locations, you need to have a certain level of efficiency. But this is mostly absent in Bitoku. It's possible to play the game at a superficial level, particularly if the other players also approach the game this way, but it will most likely leave you dissatisfied. This is likely how the first game will go. Again, I was really hooked by the ease of play, but I was worried after my first full game that it just felt aimless and shallow. But after a few more plays, I started to see the greatness in the game. So me and Natalie read that,
we should have that,
and I was like,
show.
I know. I was like, that's exactly how I feel right now at this moment. Because I was kind of like, what is it? Natalie and I were both like, is it us? Is it the game? Like, why are we feeling this way? What is going? Like, we both were just kind of like, I don't care what I'm doing.
Even Natalie was like, maybe we're not in the mood to play a game.
Yeah.
Kind of what, I remember.
But she did. Yeah. And so what made me think that it wasn't Natalie, like just her mood, she said that as I was explaining the rules, she was like pumped up, like, oh, this sounds great. Like she wasn't like rules yawning. She was like interested, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to talk for you.
Yeah.
But so like, yeah, we were through turn 2, and I don't know what the hell was going on, but we were taking forever. It was like 2 hours.
we were
it was stupid. It was stupid. Like, we just could not.
I was like, why is this taking so long?
Oh my God. So I was like, I got to go to Board Game Geek and see what other people are saying about like if someone is like can, adequately describe what we're feeling. And that thing, I think, hit it on the head. It felt aimless. It felt the things we were doing just felt superficial. It felt really like, okay, well, I'm just going to take this and that's going to get me the same points as if I took that. And I don't see how doing this is going to get me any more points in the long run. And so it was kind of bumming us out. So we told Jeff, we were just like, yeah, we're struggling. And Natalie's like, we're taking forever. And Jeff's like, we didn't. We just played the fucking game and got through it. And how long did it take you? Like an hour and a half?
It took us 2 hours after the explanation. So 2.5.
2 hours after. Okay.
30-minute explanation.
And at this point, we were still in the second year out of 4.
At 2 hours.
And it had been 2 hours.
And it had been 2 hours. So we decided after that, we were like, all right, neither of us are having fun. We're just going to play the game and not try to figure, because we were like trying so hard to be like, okay, what is the best thing? What is the plan? How am I supposed to do this? And so we just started playing in round 3, and we finished round 3 in like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was at that moment I was like, okay, this feels a little better. And then round 4 was like, boom, like light bulb.
Clicked,
and I don't know what your scores were, Jeff, but we ended both over 100. I had 102 25 or something like that, and Natalie had like 110 or something like that.
Yeah, we were right there. I had 130 something. Devin had 110. It was like close.
Yeah. Okay. So okay, that seems like very similar, and it felt a lot better than it felt at the beginning. So I agree with this reviewer. I think the problem is the learning curve.
Yes.
I think the problem is, and I talk about this a lot of games, you need to like understand the cadence and like how the game plays. And this game is not a game you can get that at the beginning. I don't think you can like understand like, okay, there's a lot of games I play where I'm like, okay, I see a plan. I think like, I remember the first time I ever played Rajas of the Ganges.
Okay.
You explained the rules to me, and I was like, okay, I know what my first like 4 turns are going to be.
Yeah, the Matrix
just to get that, to get this, to get that. Yeah, right. I just like got it. I was like, okay, boom, 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 and I was like exciting. This game, I was like, all right, rules done. What now?
Now what?
What's the best move? I don't know and because I didn't know what the best thing was, everything was like impossible. It was impossible to make a decision. I was like, do I play this card? Activate that die? No. Maybe I just like spend one of my pilgrims, activate the die, play there first. So Natalie, no. But then no. Everything felt impossible. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because everything felt the same. Nothing felt
like better
than anything else. And it wasn't until you play the entire game, or maybe like 3/4 of the way through, it wasn't until then that I was kind of like, okay, if I played this again, I know exactly what I would try to do from the beginning, and I think I would have a lot better time. So a lot of the points, like you can like vie for points in the Kodama tracks. Mm-hmm. Right. And that becomes really fun at the end of the game where you're trying to eke out a little bit like, crap, I'm behind in 2 of these tracks. I got to try to at least catch up in one of them. And if you're playing a 2-player game, there's a dummy player and you have to beat that one or else you're going to lose points to them.
Yeah.
And it's hard. They're not easy to get up there. And then the Bitoku path is really the place where you can like get huge points. And that's where I beat Natalie in our game was I got 6 of the 7 different symbols on my Bitoku path cards, and I'm moving on those, so I'm getting victory points for each card.
Yep.
Plus I get 16 points at the end of the game for having 6 of the 7 cards, where Natalie only had two. I think you had 2 different, so that's only 2 points, right? So I have 14 points up on her, which was basically the difference in our game. And so now she knows in her next play, okay, I can't let you run away with those Bitoku cards and try to do something else. You know, and so you're kind of watching each other, and I just think it would be a much better play, our next play. So honestly, I think this game is really good. I think it's really good. Okay. My negatives for it are, I think while the board is the most beautiful possibly looking, this game is like one of the best looking games I've ever seen.
Agreed.
It's so amazing. Honestly, I think the board is a little too busy, though. As a piece of artwork, I would hang it proudly in my basement and like look at it all the time to see all the stuff. As a working component, it's a little busy, and it's kind of, once you're in the middle of playing the game, it's definitely not as bad. But I think at the beginning, especially, that was a barrier for us, because you just look at this board and you're like, I can't even really tell what the hell I'm looking at.
That. It made sense as you played, but when you were explaining it, you're like in the forest section, and I was just like, which one's that?
That's the whole board.
Yeah,
that's the whole damn board.
Yeah.
So that's one complaint I have is that. Another complaint I might have, I guess. And this is not even a complaint. This is just a thing with Natalie and I. There are definitely some take thatty things in the game. There's some spots where you spent like all this work like bringing your Kodama marker up, and then Natalie gets a card that just moves you back too, and it's like, oh, like that. I don't like the attacky things like that. But that's very specific to Natalie and I. We just found that we were like, I will do anything I can to not take that card. You know what I mean? That's what we were doing. And it was fine, but there was a couple moments where it was like, okay, I can't do anything else. And it just kind of felt bad for even the person doing it. Like Natalie was like, I don't want to do this. And I'm like, it's okay. Do it. That's how the game is played. Just do it. But she was, I don't really want to. It doesn't feel good to me to screw you over. There's also, and this is really cool about the game, I really like this, but at the same time, it can cause butthurt feelings in the other player. There's a very, very tense... This might be my favorite part of the game, to be honest with you. There's a very tense thing in the game where you're playing, especially in a 2-player game. Maybe it's not like this as much in a multiplayer game. And Jeff, maybe you can talk to this a little bit too once you hear what I'm saying. But when you place a die, you're looking at your opponent and you're like, okay, they have 2 dice left. I have 2 dice left. I'm blocking these forest spaces right now from them taking them. And they're waiting probably for me to move this die across the river so then they can take that space. And then that's going to give them way more points. So do I leave my die here a little longer to make them have to use those dice in a different, maybe suboptimal spot? Or like I see, Natalie has this. Her turn is right in front of me. There was this one moment she was like, hey, can I move this to this spot and take that action? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, man, telling her that. Now she knows that. So now she's going to do that right in front of me, boom, boom, boom. And it happened. And it feels not great when you're the one on the receiving end of it, but it is a really cool way to handle blocking that's not just regular worker placement. I took that spot. You can't take that spot. It's a timing aspect that I found really interesting.
I think that was awesome. I think there's so much with that, and so much with I said in the rules that you play a card to unlock a die in order to play it. There's ways to unlock a die earlier, and getting out a die quick and blocking a space for 6 or 7 turns can be really, really important. Like if you like that strategy. Or getting a die out fast to then move it across the river to get a card first. I loved that time. Yeah. I completely agree. I loved that jockeying. Because there were moments where I moved my die across the river and Devin was like, finally. She was like, finally, I needed that spot.
Right? Same with Natalie. Yep. Yeah. She's like, oh, now I can take that move spot.
Yeah.
That move spot was really coveted.
Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, man. But there was a moment at the end of the game, Fred. The reason I'm talking about it specifically, there was a moment at the end of the game. I didn't even necessarily know that it was screwing Natalie over so badly. I was hemming and hawing over these 2 spots to go to. And I finally was like, okay, this is better for me to do this. And so I went there. And Natalie's just like, ugh! And I'm like, what? And she's like, well, now that you went there, I now have no opportunity to cross the river.
Yeah,
because there was an empty spot for her to put her die, but there was already dice on the other side of the river that was blocking her.
Yeah,
and it's just like that. I think that part of the game is where the meat is. That's those timing aspects.
Yeah, we talked about worker placement in the last episode or 2 episodes ago. That's it. The blocking of the spaces makes a lot of that game. I agree.
That's where the tenseness comes from. Like you said, there was a time I'm building that Bitoku path, and I'm like, okay, there's one card up there on the path, across the river that will give me my 6th one, and I have to do everything I can to get that. I played a suboptimal turn before on a space I didn't really need, just so I can cross the river and get that one card, and that stuff was really fun. And all of that to us in our play really happened in the back half of the 3rd turn and the entire 4th turn.
Okay.
That's when we noticed all that happening. Because also, what I'll say, those crystal tiles, this is weird, right? And they were shuffled like crazy. Neither of us did not get a tile that gave us income.
Oh, okay.
They just did not come out.
That was it.
Okay, yeah, they did not come out. All we got was the orange and the pink one. That's all that came out. Yeah, that's the only things that came out. And so we were kind of like, well, damn it. And it turned out at the very end of the 4th turn, I'm like, man, if I keep flipping tiles over, now they're all purple. So it was just like, the game would be so different. So anyway, I think it's really, really good. It's definitely a lot better than we thought at the beginning.
Okay, that's good.
The only barriers, I think, for us to play it again are the setup is really big. It's a big game, and it takes a lot to set up. That's the one thing I worry about for us playing it again is it takes a long time to get into it. Are we going to go after it again? But what did you think?
Well, I mean, I feel like you said a lot of the same things that I would say. So mostly I would reiterate what you said, but I guess some of the main points were I agree. The learning curve was big. I was very confused at why why we were feeling the way we were feeling. It felt like overwhelming. It did feel kind of aimless. I definitely was like questioning, like maybe we're just not in the mood for this kind of game right now, or we're just tired. Like I was like, it doesn't seem it seems like a game that we should like. So what is our problem? Because it would be like, it's your turn, and we're like, oh man, like what do I do?
It's my turn again. Damn it, I don't know what to do.
I know. We're like, what's wrong with us? And I'm like, it's just taking forever.
She was so mad.
And yeah. So at the beginning, but it, like you said, at basically the second half of it for the most part. In that third round when we were like, let's just focus.
Fuck it.
I think we were both even standing up almost the entire second half of the game.
You kind of have to. That board is so huge.
Because we're like, well, for me, every time I'd lean over to reach the board, it would knock all the shit off my like player board.
She was constantly like, oh God, boobs, damn it,
boobs. And Ryan was like, boobs.
I was like, boobs. Yeah, knock some more stuff around.
But yeah, so like in that third round when we finally decided like, okay, let's just focus and like, let's just not like, take a bunch of time. Let's just do something. Like just get through the round. And that seemed to really help. And I 100% agree with you. Like you had to understand like the cadence, like for some reason. And it's funny because now that we've played it, it seems like, how did I not get this? But I didn't. And same with you. But like, it's almost like you just didn't really understand how the round would go as far as like the timing of placing cards and like playing dice and crossing the river and all that stuff, and like it just didn't quite click until it did.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree that playing it again will be a much different experience. I think it'll be fun the whole time.
Agreed.
And same with a lot of games, especially heavy games. One of the big things that was confusing to me playing the first time was just like what is gonna get me all the points?
Yeah.
Like what am I gonna go for that's gonna like I don't know really until we score this game what ended up working out or didn't work out. And that definitely happened in this game, because after we played the game, scored, I was like, okay, I know next time I'm gonna push harder for this, not care so much about this.
Yeah, like those Iwakura rocks, for instance. Mm-hmm. We were both kind of putting like, oh man, these things, there's only a certain amount. These are going to give us so many points. And they just didn't for us. Like, I think I scored 11 or 12 points there. Natalie scored 6 or 7. So it wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't, we were kind of like,
anything.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, I guess that was... And maybe it was just the ones we got, the rocks we got. Maybe they could have gotten a ton more points for us. I don't know how it was in your game, Jeff. But yeah, it was like stuff like that where we were like, oh my God, is this where the points are? Like, should we really all be trying for this? And then it turns out like, really. Oh, it's about the same as everything else.
Yeah. And there's a lot of spots where like, if you, like you said, if you let somebody run away with something, then they're going to gain a bunch of points on you, like with that path. But like the Kodama stuff, there was only like a 4-point difference between what I scored and what you scored, but that's because we kept up with each other. Right. I didn't let you just take that over, or else you would have had a ton more points on me. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff in the game. But other than that, the only thing I'd say is I agree. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the color scheme and the art, especially like the creatures that are on the cards. They're really cool looking. Cool. There's a lot of little cutesy elements like the little pilgrims, which are like the babies with one eye.
I love those tokens.
Those
tokens were so cool.
Even like the deer figures, it's like really cool looking. It's a very nice game to look
Well, I'm
at.
also bummed, Jeff, because we played on the 2-player side, and I was like, oh, I want to put the things in the board because there's recesses on a 3 and 4-player game that you put like whether you're playing with a 3 or 4-player game, you put like stuff like different things into the board to change the player
of, like,
count.
Blocking off spots, you like put in what you need. Yeah, which is cool.
Right. And I was like really bummed out. I was like, too. I don't want to play on this other flat side now. All right, man. Up to you then. What did you think?
I really liked it. I think from a rules standpoint, so to speak to kind of what you said about rules. So again, we're talking about the game Bitoku. The rules, reading the rules was a little frustrating.
Yeah, totally agree.
But for some reason, I thought teaching it was easy.
I agree with you.
I taught it all through the cards in your hand because when you start with the cards, all the actions are on your cards. So I just taught those, and I'm like, those icons are the same things there. The player aid for, when you say like, oh, it's 4 pages, it's one piece of paper folded in half, printed on every side, right?
Yeah.
But inside it has all the iconography. It has what all the tiles do. It has the page number for reference if you need to go in the rule book. This is how a player aid needs to be for a game that is middle heavy to heavy. Like, how simple is it to put the page number of like, oh, if you need more help, here's the page number that you need to go to in the rules. I thought that was great. I taught it to Devin, and I was like, okay, and she was like, I got it. She like instantly knew what she could do and where to go and the action. So
we rarely went to the rule book.
Rarely.
Right?
Yeah.
We were not in the
couple
rule book
times
very
maybe,
often.
Yeah, the first I went in the rule book for like the first cleanup phase of like, all right, what do I need to do to kind of clean up in the winter or whatever that phase was called.
Right.
But as I was playing it, I was like falling in love. I was like, this is awesome. I'm like, I love the pointality feel of it. Like you both have said, the art is just through the roof amazing. I felt myself looking at all these cards and these like weird forest creatures that the artist created on these different cards. And there are so many. So we've talked a lot about like the worker placement. There's a lot of other mechanisms. There's like a little bit of deck building where, think of Arnak, where you're getting a handful of cards maybe at most to kind of add to your deck to sort of switch things out. Those cards can later be discarded for points, which I really like because you want to value, I can get 10 points of this card, but I might draw it next round. I might need it again next round. I love that decision point.
Or vice versa. You're like, oh my gosh, okay, like this card is awesome. I can get 10 points for it right now. I do want to use it again, but what if it doesn't come out?
And
then now I lose 10 points and I don't get the action. So it's like, that's a cool decision point too.
Yeah, and there were points where I had a very similar card where it's like, all right, I can get one resource or I can get two because I had the better card. But if I played the better card, I could score more points. Or if I played the lesser card, I could score more points. It was like, I loved that decision point. There was the fun hand management. There was the set collecting with the path that you said. The managing of the pips and being able to move those pips up and down. And having a 6 is great in the one spot, but then if you cross the river, you lose all these pips. And then they come back to you in a lower number and they're weaker. I loved managing all that stuff. And it seems like there's a lot, and there is. But for some reason, to me, it just like worked. It just flowed. It worked well. I didn't think anything was very like clunky. There wasn't a lot of steps to like, if you take a card, take the card, put it on the bottom of your deck, shuffle it. No, it was just add it to your hand.
Agree.
Draw 2 cards, put one back. Like, for how many mechanisms were there, they played simply, if that makes sense. I really liked it. I liked that all the options, like you said, were different enough, but they all kind of gave you similar points, but I liked finding the combinations that were then going to get you the most, right? Like, so I had my starting rock tile that gave me points at the end of the game, right, was to build these 2 kind of buildings. So for each building, I got a point. So I was like, that's what I'll do. I'll build the buildings. I got 5 buildings out. So I was like, let me just try to do that. And then if you surround that rock thing with the little eyeball people, they score them again. I liked also, which, and maybe, hopefully you had this, was sort of the combination of actions that happened not every turn, but maybe 2 or 3 times around, where if you connected that dragonfly tile, you then got to buy a crystal, which then activated this and allow you to do something else. It wasn't this massive turn, right, where it was like you got 30 points and you did all this stuff, but it felt like even just playing one card, you could get 2 or 3 things out of it.
Yes. That did happen for sure. Again, at the end, I felt like there was one specific turn I can remember where it felt so good. Yeah. I was like, I could do that, and then I can do this, and then I can do that, and then I can do that, and that gets me 18 points. I just like scored all these points right now because on that track where you're going up, where you put your pilgrims, the pilgrimage track, right? I was like, okay, I go 3, that lets me go up there. Boom, I get 8 points for that. Plus I get a 3 thing now that I can add to my die. There was some really, really satisfying turns.
Yeah, and that I loved that. I liked adding those little cards because they were just better enough where you wanted those, but the decisions across the river were hard. Like you went with the Bitoku cards, right? You added the path.
That was so hard. There's only 3 choices across the river. You want all of it.
Yeah. And
I'm like, okay, I want to take the Bitoku card.
Or twice a round, pretty much, at most.
Yeah. Oh, it's that. I thought that was so challenging. Like, I want this Bitoku card, but then I'm not getting the Iwakura rock or putting a guy next to the rock, or I'm not moving my Kodama track, or I'm not getting a yokai card. It's like, man, every one of them was really good.
Yeah. So I really loved it. I asked Devin the next day, so New Year's Day, I was like, if we didn't have COVID and a sick child, would you play this game again tonight? And she was like, yeah, I would, because we already had it. I laid it on the table; it was already out there. I was like, would you play it again? She's like, yeah, I'd play it again.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So she really liked it. I think it'll hit the table often next year, I hope.
Very cool.
My downsides are similar to you. I thought the rulebook was not great. I also have an issue with, in my brain, trying to figure out what the wording of what the different cards were. So I kept going back to the component list and saying, all right, what was the yokai cards? What are the vision cards?
Oh, that I don't love it when games do that. I get why they do because of theme, but I totally agree with you. I completely agree. All the names of what they called the stuff, I was like, ugh. Yeah. It's so difficult to remember.
So that was weird for me. But then again, when I taught it, I just replaced those words with like, here's your character cards, here's your endgame cards, here's your path cards. I just replaced it, and that went really simply. There is that one thing that I don't enjoy in games, and I know you don't either, is one of the actions you can take in the last round is to take those vision cards, and if you happen to have something done, you can get points.
That's right. Surprised you didn't say that.
There is.
I know. I forgot about that.
So on the last round, Devin and I both did the same thing. She drew 2. Didn't have any of those done, so she discarded them both and took a resource. I picked up 1 and happened to have one of them done.
Boom, 6 points. It's like, ugh.
So that's annoying. I know it's, you're giving up the pip to move across the river, and the point, it's not as like Takanoko-ish, but
agreed. Because what I did kind of like is, okay, you could potentially be giving a pip up, not taking a different card, right? That's one, because the vision cards, is the vision cards one of the 2 things you can take of those actions, right? So you take that, and then let's say you don't get a card to help you. Now all you got from losing that pip and taking that action was 1 resource.
So it wasn't it wasn't like, oh, I win. It wasn't like that, but it did feel like, you do have to spend those resources at the end game things, or have like, if it says you need 3 steps on a path and the next card says you need 2, you need 5.
You got to have 5.
So I did like that, but there was moments where I was like, that's, so if it would have came down to like 3 points, I'd have been like, Devin, you probably
that could have happened. That would have sucked.
But the nice thing is you get to pick 2, so it's not like you're just totally screwed.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. So it happens more likely you might get one than not, maybe. But man, this is a winner for me. This is a big hit. I would like to play this game often this upcoming year. So you might hear this game pop up on some list here.
Very cool. Maybe it'll come out at Nerdfest coming up.
I'm into that.
Maybe it'll be your first picks and Mad Board Gamers. I'm back.
Maybe Mentor Elizabeth will want to play it with me.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You can protege her in this game.
Yeah.
All right, man, what else you got?
Ooh, what do I have? Do you have anything?
I was going to. I think we'll hold off, though, because we're getting a little...
So
we had a
long in the tooth.
Yeah, so we've
I don't know.
Yeah, long in the tooth.
That's a saying. I don't know what it means.
It is?
Okay.
It's a saying. I'm gonna look it up right now. What does long in the tooth? Long in the tooth. Okay. Long in the tooth. Rather old. Phrase of long.
We're getting rather old.
Yeah, we're getting old.
I don't think you used that correctly.
Yeah, well,
the long in the tooth means that someone or something is old. Well, it's getting old talking about these games.
All of the people who made those recordings think we're getting rather old.
Yeah,
and
so
want
we're
us to
getting
stop.
old. It's old.
I guess we're retiring. I mean,
yeah. So
that's so funny.
So I guess this episode will be light on actual gameplay stuff. But okay, so
sorry.
At game night, we, as you probably know, we there's 4 of us that play on Monday night. We rotate whose pick it is, and we've actually been playing some repeat games lately. So there hasn't been a lot of stuff that I've been able to like, brand new. Yeah. And it was Dave's pick recently, and we went over to his house before pre-COVID, and we played Everdell with everything. Everything that's
really? All the expansions,
out.
huh?
Yeah, everything. So there's a new one that's coming out. There was a Kickstarter recently.
And the puzzles?
And the puzzles. We had to do all
built
the puzzles
while you...
Yeah. It was like chess boxing, where if you finish the puzzle first, you win, or you won in Everdell. Yeah.
That would be so funny, though, if you're like, all right, we're going to put these puzzles out. When it's not your turn, go ahead and work on the puzzle.
Yeah. Or each of you got a puzzle, and you're like, while you're not doing it, do the puzzle.
You have to finish your puzzle.
Yeah, you have to finish your puzzle in order to win. It's worth, like, bonus points.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I know that Everdell is probably something that's been, like, beaten to death on podcasts and reviews and stuff, but I just wanted to touch on it and touch on the expansion specifically. Especially if if you like this type of game and you've never, like, people keep talking about it and you kind of miss the boat, this might be like a good kind of refresher to come back, because this might be a game you really love. So Dave picked all the expansions. It came out in 2018 and it was fucking huge. It was like,
wow,
it came on the scene hard and fast, right?
I mean, kind of like Bitoku, the artwork and the theme was like that was all everybody cared about.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, the gameplay is good, right? But people were talking about the tree and
This
the
being
lush
beautiful.
gorgeousness and how like the cards were, you know, like you'd find like if the card was the husband, the wife is like in the corner, right, of the artwork, and then it's like people were all up in arms about that.
Yeah, it was like, and there's all these like cute little creatures on all these cards, and if we're relating it to Bitoku, it'd be like, those are the cute creatures on Everdell cards. These are the enchanted weird creatures that are kind of cute on Bitoku, right? They're like a little, oh, he's got some big eyes. That's funny. So I looked at it's 8.1 overall on BGG. It's ranked number 29. It says number 2.
Holy shit! Is it
I know.
really?
Yeah, top 30. It's number 2 in family games.
Wow.
And it's it's by James A. Wilson, Starling Games. Again, people who have played games know this game. Like you said, it's absolutely gorgeous. And this obviously, when a game hits like that, and it's a tableau building card based game, it's going to lead to expansions, of course.
Yep.
I think, and maybe I'm wrong. It might have been like the slightly year after, but that expansion I felt like came out like right away.
Yeah, Pearlbrook.
It was like,
I agree. It was like very quick.
Maybe it was already in their mind and planned, and they're like, if this is a hit, boom, we got something.
Yep,
right there.
we're sending this out. Yep.
So currently there's 3 expansions. That 4th one is on Kickstarter. I think you could back it and get like this big collection box with everything. And I think they're then done. I think that's it.
Oh,
I think they've called it. I might be wrong, so call me out if you want to, but I think they've said, listen, this is our 4th expansion, big ass box, done.
We're moving on.
We're moving on. I know that Dave has everything. Joe is backing everything, of course, and has everything, and they have puzzles and they have everything.
Course, yep.
So the current expansions that we play with Pearlbrook, Spinecrest, and Belfair. And what's kind of cool is the whole every expansion sort of adds a little piece to the board. So the board sort of is like a puzzle and gets bigger with everything. So a quick Everdell rundown of what Everdell is. It's a tableau building, worker placement, card-driven game, really. So the game takes place over 4 rounds where players can move from round to round at their own pace, which is something that's very cool or extremely frustrating if you're Jeremy. Sorry. In that first play that you
Poor
had.
Jeremy. Poor Jeremy.
Yeah, where you're basically taking your workers that you have, which are cute little animal meeples, and you're placing them on the board to get resources to then build these cards. And that's how you're building these tableaus. So the cards all have cool powers, or they give you bonuses, or tell you how to score, all this kind of stuff, right? And the game finishes after the 4th season, and whoever has the most points, you add them all up. There's a bunch of different ways to score. You win, right? The 3 expansions. So Pearlbrook adds a new resource, which is the Pearl, which thankfully they made a flat side of the Pearl so it doesn't roll away like the wood. So they did
Those
that.
Those shits are so hard to get in that game.
Yeah, and the pearls are tougher to get, right? You add... Yeah. There's this new now specific worker that can go over there to get you pearls, and you use the pearls to build these little monument things, right? So it's just an additional resource, an additional thing. We then added this Belfair expansion, which, when you put them all together, sometimes bleed together. So I might be mixing up Belfair and Spirecrest, but
Spirecrest,
you get
whatever.
It. Adds a 5th and 6th player, so if you want the game to take 3 hours, just throw those bitches in there. And each of these expansions, which I know are really cool for people, each of these expansions bring in these different meeples. So there's like, even though it plays 5 or 6 people, there's probably a dozen different animal meeples that you can be and colors that you can be, which I know is something that really really is attractive to like Emily from Date Night Dice and these graphic design people who don't like those regular yellow, blue, red, green, boring
meeples.
colors. These are cool, different, nature-y sort of colors. Anyway, you get in Belfair, which is something you might like in this game, because I know this Everdell kind of hit for you guys at first and then it fell off, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you ever play this again, play with a couple of the expansions, it might hit for you because you get a player power, which is something that's pretty cool.
Ooh, yeah.
There's this little tiny thing that helps you organize your cards a little better and tells you like here you put it, and like it gives you a little spot for resources. So it just kind of keeps your area a little more organized. There's a market space, which is kind of cool, similar to Istanbul, where you could go there and you could take these resources and then a tile would move and you could sell them back, sort of thing. That's kind of a neat space. There's some event cards that happen, and then in the Spirecrest expansion, there are these weather cards, which is something that affects you when you're in that season. So I'm in the winter, I flip over the winter card, and it says I can only buy, or I have to pay a card in order to build a card, right? So it's just something that affects me. But if you're in the spring, you don't have to worry about that. you have your own weather card. I'm just dealing with the winter, right? Because you're moving it at a
Right,
pace.
you go at your own pace,
Yeah. Then there's all this stuff, and this is where you're seeing probably pictures on Instagram with the gigantic like moose and the bear where your meeples are riding on those things.
Yeah.
So at the end of every season, you go and you can pick these special power cards. So you flip over these bigger cards, and one of them could be like a super worker. So that you put your meeple on top of the bear, and he might get double resources or an extra point when he does something. So it's like an extra layer of the worker placement, sort of. And that's what all these things sort of add together. So as you're passing, you're not just grabbing meeples anymore. You're changing the event. You're adding a possible card and a power to each round. It's a lot to handle. I know that the publishers have kind of come out and said, listen, you don't have to play with all of them at the same time. And I might agree with that. I think that if I were to just play with them, I would ditch Pearlbrook and I would play with just Belfair and Spirecrest.
Gotcha.
Pearlbrook is my least favorite, and I know I looked at my Instagram post from a while ago with Pearlbrook, and I was like, I would always play with Pearlbrook. And now I'm like, I don't really want to play with Pearlbrook.
Yeah. Hey,
I feel
you can
like,
change.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like that part of the game just feels like tacked on now that we had the other events. Like, the other two expansions have these, like, events, and these events change the game that you're playing, and it affects the game that you're playing, versus Pearlbrook is like, here's something else you can do that I don't want to do.
Didn't you say Pearlbrook came out, like, right after?
Yeah, that was, like, the first one.
Well, that's probably why, because they didn't hear people's feedback when they created Pearlbrook.
Yeah, they probably had
and
it
then
already
the other
done.
expansions, they
you might be absolutely
knew
right.
what people wanted to yeah.
Yeah. So, and some of the other two just, it feels like it's ingrained into the game, where Pearlbrook feels like a tack on.
Yeah.
And Natalie, you might be absolutely right. That might be exactly what happened. I almost feel like they would have done the opposite, right? They would have made the ones that were ingrained in the game, and then now that became popular, they're like, make another one. But
Right.
Anyway, it's cool. I'm looking forward to whatever this new one is and playing one of the big, massive games. It takes a little too long, because if you're playing with all of them, you get an extra worker. With Pearlbrook, you get a worker coming in. You got to flip event cards. It takes longer.
Plus, you can play up to 6, you said?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd ever play at 6, man.
Yeah, that sounds rough.
At 3, so the three of us, me, Joe, and Dave played. We touched on, I think Joe had played with the expansions before, but I didn't play with the expansions. He taught me just the expansions, and I would say it took like 2.5 hours. And that's a long play for that kind of...
Yeah, knowing the game very well and not having to have the rules explained.
Yeah, because we've played the base game after we knew it in like an hour, right?
Yeah.
An hour and a half, probably with 4 people, and you go. You know the cards, but now we're seeing new cards, we're seeing new events, so it slows things down a bit. I'm sure people on Board Game Geek have amazing combinations of like, oh, if you play with Pearlbrook and Spinecrest, you get this, or if you play with Belfair and this one, people are great. I would say play with them one at a time maybe, or combine the last two and leave Pearlbrook out, but that's where I would list, if you like games, I know it kind of fell off for you guys, but Everdell's a good game. It's, if you like kind of engine building / like tableau stuff, it's got that cool 7 Wonders thing where cards are built for free, and that just feels so satisfying, right? Where you like, build this for free, suck it.
I already got this card, hell yeah. Yeah.
But it also feels really shitty when you're like, I have no combinations of anything.
Yep.
Yeah, so that can suck, but
all I need is the husband, and you just took it right in front of me, like,
but it's an overall really good game. I say if you haven't played Everdell, I think it's a good game to just play. It's in the top 30 on Board Game Geek.
That's crazy.
It's something that I think could become one of those games where people go, oh, you haven't played Everdell? Let's play that, right? Where sometimes I feel like with us, it was like, oh, you never played Carcassonne? Dave, you got to play Carcassonne. We got to play Carcassonne once.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, you're 5 years past Carcassonne. We got to just play it. Everdell might be that game in a couple years where people go, oh, you got to play Everdell. Like it's one of those things. So especially if they're stopping it and you can maybe get everything and not feel like you're Dominion or Ascension where you just have to keep chasing the end of this series. But anyway, that's what we've been playing. We've been struggling to get a lot of stuff to the table through holidays and New Year's
Yes,
and getting
agreed.
sick
Been a busy
and
time
hacked
of the
and all
year.
that
Agreed.
kind of stuff.
Same here. We got Bitoku played. We also have Role Player Adventures that I really want to try.
Yeah.
We also just got the Great Wall in from Kickstarter, the new Awakened
Very
Realms
cool.
game.
Man, I've seen that everywhere. It seems cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I got the Meeple version instead of the Minis version because it was cheaper, which I thought was a really cool idea. So I'm excited about playing
Well
those
done.
kinds of games.
That's called
I know, right?
self-control, my man.
I know. Look
You
at me
are
go.
growing.
It's like,
Natalie
I can't be
behind
taught.
Natalie sitting behind you like, don't click on that one.
You better not get the
Don't-
fucking minis.
no,
No,
not
honestly,
that
this
one.
was all. She didn't even know the game existed.
Did not.
It's all me. We also got the Micro Macro Crime City Full House game. We also have the game of Wolf that we want to try.
Yeah. We got
So we got a
Rolling
lot of cool stuff.
Realms,
Oh, one
which we
thing we
played.
did play that's new. We played Rolling Realms again, and we used the Terra Mystica expansion card.
Cool.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was very.
I really
Terra
enjoyed that.
Mystica
Did you-
thematic-y.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It felt a little bit like Terra Mystica. That's
Yeah, it
cool.
had like
Yeah, it
almost
totally
like
did.
The little,
it was like the hexes on there, and you had to
yeah.
connect them together
Yep,
and
just like in the game.
make a line of them, and it did. It felt thematic enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a good play. That's a
Yeah,
cool
it was
game.
fun. I like that game.
I'd like to talk to you all for a moment about the Gateway Board Gaming Network, which you can find at www.thegatewaynetwork.com and the Gateway Network on Instagram. The sole purpose of the network is to help new or up-and-coming content creators grow by shouting each other out. If you go to the Gateway Network website, you will find other amazing content creators who are trying to grow as well. They are all amazing people who produce fantastic content. It's very exciting, due also in large part to the merch store there. Yes, we've got a merch store, which you can find at www.thegatewaynetwork.com/store. There you can find so many amazing items from a large portion of our members. Whatever kind of content you're looking for, the Gateway will have it. If you're a newer board game content creator and you're looking for a way to grow your content, please consider heading over to thegatewaynetwork.com to learn more. If you're looking to support the show, maybe consider flushing your money down the Gamecasters toilet by way of our Patreon page. There are 4 different tiers which will get you access to behind-the-scenes content, exclusive content, or content ahead of time. You will also get swag that nobody else has access to, and just the opportunity to help out and support a podcast which you sometimes listen to. We have amazing patrons. Thank you so much for your support, guys. If you'd like to donate to help us pay for things like hosting fees and that blank that Jeff's had his eye on, please head on over to patreon.com/the Gamecasters to help out. The Gamecasters Twitch account has relaunched, and we're live every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday night, streaming board game and video game content and having a blast talking to all of you. If you just simply can't get enough Gamecasters in your day, please consider heading on over to twitch.tv/Gamecasters and give us a follow and maybe a sub. I have the best time streaming for everyone, and it's just a super fun place to unwind after a long day and watch someone who is trash at games play games. Come hang out and engage with me in a way you never thought you had to before, but I'm sorry, you do. Twitch.tv/Gamecasters. Possibly the best way to interact with all of us, though, is via our Discord server. If you go to the Gamecasters Instagram page, you can check out our link tree in our bio to get access to our server. It's a great way to engage with all 3 of us on a daily basis, as well as meet a bunch of like-minded, awesome people. So check out our Discord server. It's now the time of the show where you all finally take the burden off of us for a few minutes. In this episode's We Work So Damn Hard, Give Us a Fucking Break Box.
And now it's time for the Instagram inbox with the Mad Board Gamer.
Welcome to Mentor Elizabeth's Instagram inbox. I am your
Hello,
hacker.
Mentor Elizabeth.
I am your host.
Protege Jeff.
So now that I was back in Instagram, I could actually do the inbox.
Hooray!
Because that would have been a segment that would have been pretty boring.
It would have been funny, though, to do an inbox from the perspective of a Mentor Elizabeth.
Yeah,
you know, like
the
inbox question is just like, how many Bitcoin do you want to earn?
Yeah. Bitcoin. You want 1 Bitcoin? Send me iTunes gift cards. And everything will be good.
Emotional Cyborg says, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Ryan called me a piece of filth.
Yeah. I had to apologize to you. I was like, I'm sorry for calling you a piece of filth. You were like, it's okay. I deserved it.
I deserved it. I got hacked. I deserved it. So one of the themes of the last half of our episode is going to be some resolutions. And I wanted to... Oh, we're not doing resolutions. What am I doing? Oh, yeah.
No, you're doing
I'm doing predictions for the next year. So not even resolutions, not what you want to do, just what you think is going to happen here. Coming up in 2022. So I went to Instagram. I said, what is something crazy, funny? What do you think is going to happen next year? And I got some responses.
Here we go.
Our faithful came in strong.
Yes, they came in strong.
So
300 responses from Allison and Janelle.
Yeah.
And
that's all we got.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
So Brent ONT, who is our buddy down river here in Michigan.
Very cool.
He said something. This is going to be maybe too soon. But
oh boy.
He said his prediction was going to be that there was going to be a Golden Girls reunion, but he thought that might be
no.
So rest in peace, Betty.
Reunion,
he is right. Oh man.
Aren't they all gone?
What's
Betty.
that?
Isn't she the last one?
Yeah, I think they're all
Betty was the last one
Yeah.
on 100.
Reunion up in
she
heaven,
definitely
I
is the
guess.
last one. But there was this funny thing that I saw with Betty White dying that she it was like Betty White still has perfect comedic timing because this magazine had come out about her 100th birthday and she died like 2
and
weeks
she didn't
before
make it. Yeah,
it was just like this. Yeah. The last kick in the nuts of 2021 was her dying.
Right.
National
treasure.
R.I.P.
Yeah. John Alexson on Instagram said, "We're fucked."
That's the prediction?
That's the prediction.
Yeah, I mean I don't disagree with that.
It's it could happen.
No, we need this to be a good year. I want please a good year this year.
Hey, it doesn't even
the
have
last
to be.
two were so
doesn't even
bad.
have to be a good year. It just has to be better than the last 2 years.
Yeah, the last 2 years. If it can be better than the last 2 years,
I'll take
then we
that.
Win.
Yep. So I might be butchering this because I didn't read the books, but the bearded gamer says that Sauron will emerge. It was the Lord of the Rings character.
Yeah, that's good. Sauron. Yeah,
So
he'll emerge. Ooh,
yeah,
that could be kind of
bad,
fun.
right?
That would be bad.
Isn't he a bad?
Yeah,
guy?
that would be terrible.
Yeah. Kate over at Oreos Are Life 11 said it's still going to be a dumpster fire, but we're going to get through it.
Okay.
Yes, I like the
that.
optimism.
Yeah, that's a
We're
good
gonna
prediction.
Get through it.
Yeah.
It's still gonna suck dick, but we'll get.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be a Bitoku,
We
but we're gonna
survived
get
the
through
last
it.
2 years. We'll survive this one too.
All right, a fat guy eating burritos.
I heard
Dan
him.
calls his belt Goldie.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yep.
Yeah.
His championship
he has
belt.
been
but he's-
challenging me all the time about playing a game for Goldie. He says Goldie and him are going to be together for a long, long time.
Oh man, that is bold.
And he said, and this is a board game one, Arc Nova is going to clean sweep a bunch of awards this year.
I mean, that game has stayed at the top of the BGG hotness for 2 months.
And I don't know how many people have played it. Is it just out in Europe? Because
I don't know. I pre-ordered the damn thing, and I don't have it yet. So
I know. So it's been hot, and not everybody has it. So
Agreed.
It's going to stay hot.
Right.
So I
probably
agree with that. Emotional Cyborg, Janelle gave me a whole bunch. She said, Ryan James will lose whatever weight he wants.
Oh, that's super nice.
Yes, he will.
Everywhere except the penis. That's what I want.
There's weight in
That's
your
what I want.
You want just a heavy...
I just want a heavy penis. I want it all to be
Overweight.
redirected to my penis.
An overweight penis. Ryan, you have an obese penis.
Can you liposuction my body and inject it into my penis?
Did you see the reel I sent you yesterday? There was a reel that was a Family Feud clip.
I saw that before.
It was what name something you can ride on? And the woman's like, oh well,
a penis.
She's like, you just ruined it.
Sorry.
We all knew where it was
Continue,
going.
Jeff.
That's where it was going.
Janelle had another one. She said, more board games than I can purchase and I can store will be released, and I'll enjoy about 10% of them. Just the whole bunch, right?
That's
she also
true.
made
That's her prediction.
an economic prediction. Says she thinks retail tax is going to go up.
Really? Interesting.
I don't know.
It's been a while since that's gone up, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's a.
I remember the days.
thing,
I remember
so-
the days when it was 4%.
Yeah, that's a
here.
by state thing.
Yeah, it's a state by state thing.
So hopefully that's only goes up in Utah.
Yeah, maybe just a Utah. Yeah, maybe there's talk about it there. Maybe she knows. She also said we are going to kill all the mosquitoes. All of them.
Ooh,
For
I
the love
heard
of
that.
God, kill them. Yeah.
That sounds. Was it you, Jeff, that was actually
Yeah.
saying that all the studies that it
there
might
was
not
no reason
be
for them.
bad if that happened?
Yeah, there's no reason
there's
for them
been
to
a
exist.
decade study that it would do almost nothing to the ecosystem if they were all gone and
Except
eliminated.
make everyone on Earth
Would that be
happier.
an unprecedented thing? Have we ever made a decision to
Purposefully,
actually purposefully wipe a species off the face of the earth.
I know there's been attempts when those like invasive bugs come or invasive fish or whatever, but man, this would be awesome. I would love that prediction.
I mean,
holy crap.
there's not a single person on the planet that likes a mosquito, I bet.
Yeah.
I mean,
except maybe a female mosquito.
They're just the worst. But a person.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Probably not a person.
Janelle
maybe
has
a mosquito person.
Janelle says that Natalie will keep taking over Ryan's stream and rocking it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I kind of want to. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. She said one for me. This was nice. She said Jeff will have the 2 cutest small beings on the planet.
Aww.
So if you don't know,
definitely
I might
happen.
have said it. So or you might know. The two of you know. My wife is pregnant. She's due at the end of March, so we have baby number 2 on the way.
Hell yeah!
So we will have Jack and baby girl
Jill,
which will not be named Jill or Jackie.
Oh, okay.
People
Jill
made that
or
joke
what?
before.
What was the second
Jill
name?
and Jackie are out.
Oh, Jackie.
Oh yeah,
Jack and Jackie.
Jacqueline.
Jack and Jackie. That's funny.
Bobo, to follow up Janelle, said my wife will buy board games.
Solid prediction.
Bold. That's not as bold as the rest.
Yeah, that's not as bold. That's just going to happen.
That's a for sure.
He also said something which happens to me and maybe happened with this past game we just talked about. My wife will find a European release board game unavailable in the United States and be sad for weeks.
Oh.
But that's kind of true. Like Arc Nova, you're like, yes. Oh, I can't get it until February.
Can't get it until right. Okay.
All right, and Bobo said a new COVID strand will come out and further wreck everything. Come on, Bobo.
I mean,
No.
that's the one that you can actually see that happening totally.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Bobo says Ryan will grill something for him in 2022.
Hell yeah, he will. In a matter of weeks, my friend.
Yeah. Jim Gamer
gonna be a
is bold and says Jeff will get hacked again, Natalie will get interrupted, and Ryan will become Mrs. Jim Gamer.
I would marry you in a heartbeat. I would definitely take your last name. Ryan Gamer.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So this is more from Brent, Homemade Soda, who said the Betty White one. He said more of the same whiskeys and board games. Like that's probably a good thing. His basement flooded, so he said hopefully less water in his basement. He also made one that says
fingers crossed.
He thinks the Queen of England is going to pass away in 2022.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people have been saying that.
Alive for
she's in her 90s.
Like
is she that old?
Years.
So I know.
I know.
So she was,
and she was very young.
She's
when
younger
she
than
took,
Betty White.
Yes, but she was very young when she became the queen. Too.
When she was born. She was very young when she was born.
Yeah.
She was like in her 20s.
The youngest.
When she was born, she was in her 20s.
Oh my God.
She was the youngest when she was born.
She was so young.
But
when she was born.
I've heard that. I've heard that too.
That prediction?
That prediction that she will not live much longer.
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
Sad.
Okay.
He also said hopefully more Gamecasters. So boom.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully people won't force us into retirement.
Maybe we'll start doing 5 episodes a week.
One a day.
Each longer than the last.
Yeah.
I like that. The first one's only 1 minute, so the next one.
I have honestly always been thinking about ways to get more content out. It's just it comes to a point where it's like, how do I do that while also living my life?
Yeah.
Right.
And
without it taking over.
Much.
Yeah.
Because now you do this, and then you stream 3 days a week.
Right.
3 nights
and then
a
it's
week.
full-time job, and it's kids, and it's like, okay, then try to do
no wonder we
gateway
don't play
stuff. We
board
got to have
games.
sex sometimes, so how am I supposed to do this?
Miss French Toast is just hoping for good. She's like, it has to be good. Has to be bad.
I like that.
Good
that's
things.
okay.
That's all.
Joe,
I'm with her.
Joe smashes that and says more COVID, but stop it, Joe.
You get COVID, and you get COVID.
Yeah.
No.
Swoozle, here's what Swoozle said. This is a good one.
Okay.
Swoozle said, the Gamecaster community will have a great year financially thanks to Mentor Elizabeth.
Oh, thank you, Mentor Elizabeth. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm so happy you
She's
came into our
great.
life.
All you need in your life is a mentor to
Yeah.
force her way into your Instagram account and earn you Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Maybe you should name your baby girl after Mentor Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Yeah.
I'll name
Elizabeth
her
Mentor Madigan.
Bitcoin. Yeah. Swoozle said, and this is a good one, I like this one, more first-time designers having really major hits, like Arc Nova.
Okay.
So I think...
Wait, Arc Nova is a first-time designer?
Maybe. I have to. I didn't double-check his...
Or what about Bitoku?
Yeah. So I think
it happened with Terra Mystica back in the day. That was their only design, which is crazy.
So some big hits, maybe.
Yeah,
some big hits from unknown people, which would be good.
On the horizon.
And it could be a big hit from a game designer, Ryan James.
You know what? That would be so awesome. Wait, me, Ryan James? I still have to reach out to. There is so Role Player Adventures has James Ryan as the designer, and his middle name is William, which is my middle name. So we got to have Ryan William James designs the game with James William Ryan, and the art is done by Ryan James.
Yeah, you have
right?
to do
That
it.
has to. I want that to happen so badly.
Swoozle also said, not very bold, but the Gamecasters will still be his favorite podcast.
Oh, phew!
Thank goodness.
That's a prediction. Oh gosh, we have to work hard to stay on top.
Yeah. The McMeeples said that Jeff will start pushing Dogecoin instead of Bitcoin. So that's good.
Instead of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, rival. Go
All
after
right.
that fucking crypto.
CP Wilson, Chris said, Ryan will continue to make fart jokes about Natalie.
Maybe.
Natalie will
not.
misinterpret top 5 list categories. and Jeff will keep playing games. Because I've been playing some games.
So status
That might
quo.
be the most accurate prediction so far.
Yeah, that's great.
That's great.
And Amanda from Main Street Meeple says 2022 will pass in the blink of an eye. I think that's like years just fly.
Oh my gosh,
right?
yeah.
Yep.
I've always heard this slogan, I think, is like, the days are long, but the years go quick.
Yeah.
Yes.
For that. All right, and last, dog-powered vehicle. This is my favorite prediction of 2022.
Baby.
Says, Jeff's going to get that reverse circumcision that he's been wanting for years.
Dude, it's been a long time coming.
Finally.
A long time
I think
coming.
that might actually... Wait, reverse?
He wants it.
Yeah.
That's what,
He needs it.
That's what all the
Your poor...
Patreon
Add that
guys
foreskin back onto your penis.
Your poor genitalia.
yeah, more. Heavier.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. That was a great note. Thank you, everybody, for your bold predictions.
Yeah.
Why don't you step inside? Come on, it's warm in there. You think you found some grass, but nope, it's pubic hair. You wonder why there's so much underwear. You stepped inside of Natalie's Nook.
Today on Natalie's Nook, I wanted to talk about resolutions. This is our first podcast of 2022.
Boom!
But before we get to our 2022 resolutions, I went back and listened to our resolutions from last year.
Hell
so
yeah.
last year we did 2021 resolutions as a top 5, and so each of us made 5 resolutions. And honestly, this was making me laugh because we suck.
Yeah.
Damn.
I would write it down and be like,
well,
nice
okay,
try.
the year got derailed pretty quickly.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to decide, should I go through all of mine or do one at a time?
Give the highlights.
The highlights?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, you know what? Okay, I'll do me first. I had play again games. My play games on my play again list, which is basically games I liked that I only played once.
Right.
Okay.
Did not do well.
Failed.
Did not do well at all.
Failed.
In fact, I'm not even. Did I even?
We
cross
just
one off?
added to the list. I think.
Yeah. That did not go great. My other ones were be more active on the Gamecasters social media.
Ooh,
Also a big fat
failure.
fail.
Ooh,
Record
that's
my
over 2.
plays, a giant fail.
Record my plays. You went the opposite way.
In the
you
podcast,
recorded
it was
less than ever this year.
I was like, yeah, the last couple months I kind of slacked off, so I need to record my plays. I'm not sure I recorded a single
so
play.
terrible. Okay.
In 2021. Woo. Also, this one sucks. I said, go to the UP and play games with Sam. Also a fail.
Failure.
Damn it. And
we did get to see Sam, though.
and then
Yeah,
I also
here, a
said
couple
play
times.
all games
Yeah, we
purchased on the Steam sale. Remember that Steam sale? We bought a bunch of games.
We did play. We
didn't
did
play all the
play
games.
Sagrada a couple
We
times.
played Sagrada and we
We also played
another
Galaxy
one.
Trucker.
Yeah, Galaxy
There you
Trucker.
go. Okay, we'll call that one a success.
We'll call that one a partial.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so Jeff
Okay.
said, so I don't know if you remember, Jeff, but
I remember
this is-
1 or 2 of them.
this is when you were in the middle of finishing your basement.
Okay.
So you said when the basement was done, you guys wanted to reorganize the games by color. This was actually a Devin one.
Didn't happen.
Did you do it?
Failure.
No, not by color. They're down there, and the basement's done.
They're down there.
It's organized, but not
No,
by color.
Okay.
I was talked out of that, I think, by the 2 of you who were like, every time you get a game, you're going to have to move every single game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I had 50,
Yeah.
that would make sense, but when you got 300, that's a tough
Right.
move.
It's like, plus you're getting games all the time.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, Jeff probably is the winner of this.
Yeah, I
the
figured he would be.
resolutions.
Because
All
I
right,
got 1.
So
yeah.
finish your game room and get a game table. So
That
you
was-
did half of that.
I did.
That's happened.
That is
Well, okay, it's happening.
Okay, let me clarify. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's on
He's
order,
got it on
right?
order. Yeah.
It's on order.
Okay. Then that's,
So hopefully the
that's-
Kickstarter doesn't collapse.
Success!
Hopefully the Kickstarter doesn't collapse and take all my money.
Yeah.
do a 4x5.
Ooh, did you do a 4x5?
No,
Failure.
we did downgrade that to a 4x4.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
Devin
Did you-
picked 2 games and I picked 2 games. So we picked the Magnificent, Amerigo, Trismegistus, and Grand Austria Hotel. I think we got 4 plays of Grand Austria and then maybe 2 of the other ones. So we didn't do it. But we did
Okay.
play a couple of them.
Okay.
So it was more of a
that's
4x2.
Yeah.
Partial. You wanted to give away more games. Because I don't know if you remember.
More than 0. Right?
You mentioned how
Success!
you had went around to like students' houses and gave them games.
yeah, I
and
did do that.
It was
That was
like
really
felt
nice of
really
me.
good, and you wanted to do more of that.
Yes, it was, man.
Yeah, I need to do more of that. I think COVID maybe stopped that. So I would say that's
Yeah.
probably not. I did send some games to people. Just like we did some giveaways and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
not as much as I should have.
And then the last
Wow.
one was go to conventions and meet our Gamecasters people.
Okay, success.
Yeah,
We did that.
Happened. Very good.
Yeah.
Damn,
I do
Jeff's
remember
killing it.
Ryan's first one, and it's great. Do you know it, Ryan? Did she tell
No,
you?
I have no recollection
remember
of
the
any
first
of it.
one.
Okay, well, the first one was for Ryan, create more content for the show, like interviews, and you basically just said, I want to be in your face.
That's
Failure. Well,
Maybe that
okay,
was a couple years ago.
Well, maybe that's sort of successful because I streamed on Twitch
Yeah,
all last
that's what
year
I
a lot
thought, too.
more than ever.
We didn't
So
do more
success.
interviews,
That's a
but
win.
yeah, you
We didn't
started
do more interviews, but I
streaming.
definitely there was more Gamecaster stuff.
Yeah,
The
that's
other
a win.
one said, keep working on the Samurai.
Okay, yeah, success
say
there
that
too.
you
Yeah,
did.
for sure.
Yeah,
Heck
that's a
yeah.
Keep growing the gateway.
Failure. The gateway died on the vine for a while.
It
It's
almost
coming back
died.
this year. So
Yeah.
Coming back.
yeah.
Play your top 20 board games.
Failure. I don't know that I played my top 1.
And now this one made me laugh.
Uh-oh.
Big fat fail. Get collection down to 150 or less.
That's the one I remember. That's the one that I remember. No way.
50 or less.
I was like, is he serious?
Dummy failure.
Failure.
150.
You were like, I have like 250 right now, and I'm gonna try to get it. Me and Jeff just like laughed in your face. We're like, no.
That's mean of you. Although accurate. Very,
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
you're not wrong.
I mean, it's funny because like you definitely slowed down on the amount of games you
Purchase?
actively purchased.
Yes.
I mean, you got a lot of Kickstarters, which were just purchased prior.
Those don't count.
But
There's still so many more.
I
know?
still feel like we still have so many.
Oh my God, there's like 30.
Yeah.
It's fucking
I say
crazy.
that like every time we talk about it.
Well, I usually back another one.
Every time you get one, then you back
Yeah,
another
one comes in, I gotta
Oh my
back one to
God.
keep
so
it
it's
up
just
to date.
always 30 coming.
Yeah.
It's a process.
If there was always 30 coming, that would be awesome. All right, so what do you got next, Natalie?
Resolutions for 2022.
Okay.
I don't know how many you guys have. I just wrote like a few down.
I have a couple.
Yeah, I got a couple.
Okay. I feel kind of boring with mine because they're nothing really new because I failed all of mine.
Well, then just show your boobs. We're on camera.
Stop it.
Sorry.
So I failed all of mine.
Jeff's face. that was totally
like the Tom
do you
Haverford.
want to have a
Yeah,
threesome
that's what
with us? Yeah, that was totally Tom Haverford. Oh, that's great.
So I really, even though we didn't do it, I really liked your idea of playing your top 20 board games. So I would really like to play even just maybe like my top 5 board games.
Okay,
this
cool.
year.
Yeah.
I feel like that's could be reasonable.
Worked out great with me, so.
For the third year in a row, I want to keep my play again games.
All right.
Because maybe this time it'll happen.
I'm in. All you got to do is just have one set up and ready to go, and I don't have a choice.
Yeah. All
Sit
right.
down and play
Thank you
this,
for
and be
that tip.
you could. I mean, being naked would definitely
Okay.
not hurt.
Yeah, that always
sure.
goes.
I'll write these tips down.
That's
Yep.
good.
Or
Be
just topless
naked.
even is fine.
Yeah.
Or just bottomless maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, either one.
Topless or bottomless or
Yeah,
totally
topless,
nude.
bottomless, or
You're
clothesless.
taking notes of that.
Works. She needs to know
Gotta
this
remember
because typically
this.
she wears too many clothes.
Well, it's cold in the basement. Okay. And my last one, and I feel like this is the most achievable one, is record my damn plays this year.
Oh my! That's the
It's
easiest
not
thing to
happening,
do.
Jeff. It's not fucking happening.
Yesterday,
She's
I
not
wrote that
doing
down, and I was like, "Oh, we played Bitoku. I better record it."
Did
I
you?
know? But I'm gonna.
She did it.
I'm
She
gonna
has-
really try.
Okay, then maybe change that to intent.
No, just
Intent
do it.
to log plays.
Because Natalie, those stats at the end of the year are so cool.
I know.
Yeah.
And I just won't have any stats because I just sucked. Okay.
Jeff, you want to go next, or you want me
what
to
do
go?
you got, Jeff?
I'll go. I don't have
called
like
on you.
great ones.
Me
but
neither.
I have something exactly similar, not having heard Ryan's before and now yours. I'm going to shrink it down to play my top 10 games. At least
Very cool.
once.
Okay.
Again, I just wish I could say a 10 by 10. I just can't.
You guys, why don't we make a pact? Everybody hold hands.
Okay.
And we at least get one of these top 10 games from all of us played at Nerdfest.
Okay. So each
Like
pick
together.
Yeah, so you pick a top 10 game.
Yeah, I'll pick a top 10 game. Natalie
Okay.
picks, you pick, and then we play them together at Nerdfest. I guess it doesn't have to be together because there's going to be 1,000 people there.
Yeah.
But we get them played.
Yeah.
At least one game. What do you think? A pact? Do I make a pact? All right.
Pact.
Let's
Made.
do it. Pact made.
Pack.
Yeah. So I would love
Pact
to do
you.
Yeah, I would love to do a 10 by 10. I know I can't get it done. So making
it's
that
so
resolution is just unless it's going to be like I couldn't even say 10 games that I think I'm going to like if I just said strike, maybe I could play
Because you
strike
get
100
so many
times.
new games.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
hard to
it's just
Yeah, play 100
say
by
like,
one.
here's 10 in January, and then by June you're like, I have a million other games I'd
Well,
rather
unless
play.
you're Chris Wilson, who somehow gets a 10 by 10 achieved every single year, and he plays like more games than anybody.
he has like 600 700 play. It's like
How on earth does he do that? Does he just constantly just be like, you know what? Who cares about my family? Fuck you,
Yeah,
kids.
I don't know.
Get back. Do your own thing. I'm playing board games. How does he have time
plays games
to
that
be
are
family
better.
man and board game man?
I'm not sure how much he does solo. Like I also don't do a lot of
Yeah.
solo gaming.
I think him and Caitlin play a lot together.
Well, even
don't
he
they?
said that one gaming weekend he had with his friends.
Oh my
they
God,
played
35
like 30 I'm
games?
like, how can you even possibly play that many games in one?
and they
It was
weren't
like
just like
3
little
days.
games. They were like big,
Right.
heavy games. I don't know how
It
the
wasn't
man
like
does
10
it.
games of Insider, and
He's got a raging gamer boner that is just supercharged.
He's
for
motivated.
games. He is the least kinked hose of anyone
Yep.
I've ever met.
So
full flow.
to go slightly backwards and
He's also coming to Nerdfest, by the way.
Oh, he is?
He's flying in.
Can you
for
believe
Nerdfest.
that?
That is.
Isn't that
I
crazy?
feel like if this keeps
He is
happening,
going
we're
to
gonna
be
have
Dedication.
to like,
That's what I said to Dave. So I texted Dave and I was like, hey, Dave, we got a lot of people out of town coming. I just want you to be aware of this. I think you're already aware of most of them, but here's the people that are coming. Are you okay with all these people? And he was like, yeah, just prepare them to be disappointed.
Yeah, it's going to be
No,
disappointing.
I think he was just like, I think we're gonna need some more chairs.
Yeah, he was like, it's fine. We need more chairs. So I've already reached out to Bill. I'm like, we need more chairs, bro.
chairs.
all the chairs you have.
Can you bring any chairs? Yeah. I'm sorry, continue.
So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna say I want to redo my pub meeple thing, which
yeah.
doesn't sound like a big thing, but when
It's
a big
long.
thing.
It takes
a lot of
forever.
new games.
So I'm gonna redo that, which might change my top 10 a little bit.
Oh,
and
you're
then
going to
play
do that
those games.
before? Okay,
Before Nerdfest.
that's a good idea. So
I
we should do that
think-
first.
My top 5 are probably solid, so I'll just pick one of those. I don't think those
Yeah.
are. They might move from like
Yeah.
3 to 4, but
Right, 3 to
those
4,
games
right.
like Underwater Cities, Terraforming Mars, Orleans, Trajan, Trismegistus, those aren't moving. So one of those
Right.
games will get played for sure.
Damn, Trismegistus.
Okay, so that game is going to get played with Mr. Measles he wants to play it at Nerdfest. So that's
Does he?
the
How
game
many
that-
can it play?
4.
Okay, I don't
could
want
be
to
the other
necessarily
2.
say
Yeah, I
we
know.
could be 2 and 3 because maybe Mrs. Measles wants to play or yeah. So
Yeah.
'Cause
if
that's one we haven't
it
played.
works out, it'd be cool to get involved in that.
Yeah.
That's one we haven't played.
Yeah,
Right,
so
so
it's
that
and
one's
it's also a good game that I could just teach you and then you won't have to learn it because it's again a
Yes.
heavier
For
one.
sure, because it's
Exactly.
huge. Yeah.
And then so I want to not get hacked on Instagram. I would like to.
Oh,
That's a good
great
goal.
one.
Yeah, I'd like to just keep up and continue to build those relationships and talk to people, whether it's like a publisher or just like a friend. I try to like reach out to someone on Instagram like every other week or so that I haven't talked to, who I'll like mention them or I'll just like send them a message and be like, hey, welcome to the community. Like if it's their first Instagram post, I like to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And just talk to them. Obviously, whatever I can do for the Gamecasters and try to get us everywhere in everybody's face.
Hell yeah, get us in your face.
Yeah. And then maybe something for the show that we can talk about. And Ryan and Natalie and I have also talked about like maybe bringing back games that we have played in the past and talking about some of these older
Yes.
games that we really enjoy.
See if they hold up, or just ones we've never talked about.
Yeah, like, there are games that I know we really like that we just haven't talked about because it hasn't been the hotness. We haven't played it most recently. I think that could be cool to maybe try something like that. Maybe,
Yeah, some shows do like a year later. Here's what we played last year. What do we think of it now? I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe trying to figure out a new segment-ish on the show, switch it out with the inbox. But those are kind of my thoughts for the upcoming year.
Very cool.
Sounds good.
Very cool. My first one is piggybacking off of what Jeff literally just said. I want to do new content. for the show. I love our format, of course, but I always want to find new segments that are fun. And just keep the show fresh, keep it moving forward, keep it something fun and engaging for people. I don't want to completely change the way we do things, but one of the resolutions I want to do is just come up with new, exciting segments, new, exciting stuff. Or maybe it doesn't even have to be segments, but take the show into either more of it, like again, like do, like a potential episode that comes out that's shorter on the off weeks, where like let's just say me, Jeff, and Natalie get together and we talk about hidden movement games and all the hidden movement games we think are fun, and we just deep dive into that for an hour, and then that releases on the off weeks, something like that, where we can give a little more content, maybe a little more focused. Okay, so that's one. Number two, somebody really needs to do something about how fat I am, and that person is that's going to be my second.
Someone needs to do something about that.
Someone needs to do something about that.
What does that have to do with games?
So I definitely want to slim down so I can have more energy to play games. How about that?
Oh, okay.
My third one is to eat as much fucking food as possible.
Oh my God,
does that really go along with the? No, I'm just kidding.
Resolutions contradict.
No. So really, my third one is I want to somehow. I don't know how this is going to work, but I want to, and I'm hoping honestly that getting healthy physically will help this as well, because I have just. It's been no secret that I have just not been as excited about board games over the last year in any way. Even honestly, we played Bitoku and it was really, really fun, but it was a chore for me to be like. I had to force myself, okay, I'm going to take this out. I'm going to learn it. I'm going to set it up. It was work. Where before it used to be I can't wait. Look at all this stuff. Now it's can't we just play Micro Macro? That takes 2 seconds. You know what I mean? So I need to somehow I think the power lies within me. I need to figure out how to get excited again about this hobby that I've loved over the last, decade plus. And so I'm hoping that getting in shape will help everything in my life, right? And the further I get away from 2021, I think, what was that, time heals all wounds kind of thing? It's taken a lot longer to bounce back than I anticipated, because it really happened right after my father passed away, that games just seemed I don't know, not as exciting or fun. Yeah. But Natalie was kind of made an observation. She was like, it's really everything in your life. She's like, you don't really care about anything since that happened. It's so... maybe think okay, maybe it's not games. I got to fix something in myself. So I resolved to get back that love and feeling that I've lost. The hose, she's kinked again, and I need to Chris Wilson my hose somehow.
Yeah,
yeah.
Maybe we'll see him at Nerdfest, and he can just we can go in the back and he can unkink
it.
Yeah, just unkink me, Chris, somehow. So that's basically it for me. I also do want to play more games that. We already love.
Yes,
I do. I like. We didn't play Terra Mystica one time last year.
We said that exact thing in this episode a year ago.
Oh,
we said I don't think we played Terra Mystica. That means we haven't played it in 2 years.
That's my favorite. It's my favorite game, and so I agree. And I think we're gonna do that for. I think that's a good pact to make, at least for Nerdfest. Let's at least take one of those each and get it played.
Because there's 3 days. We'll play one. We can spread it out, maybe Jeff's one day, mine one day, Ryan's one day.
For sure. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys have anything else? If not,
nope.
We will move forward to something I'm super, super pumped about.
Do it.
For today's game of the episode, we're going back to the before and after game. Okay? We had a lot of people respond positively to this game with how much they loved it. And since I was struggling really hard to come up with them for some of our great listeners out there, Plurpy for one, and Phil of Bad Board Game Covers came up with some for me. So he came up with some that were Christmas related. Now we're one episode removed from the Christmas episode, but these are we're still kind of in that spirit, I think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still
on break from work.
Yeah, everybody's still on Christmas break.
It's only 11 and a half months away. It's fine.
Exactly. We're a tad late, but here we go. Okay, so what these are, I have 12 of them. Again, you guys are going to try to get these collaboratively.
How are we going to ding in?
Okay.
No, you're going to get them collaborative.
Yeah, we're working together.
I just said that. I just said that.
I know. I take responsibility for that.
There's this SNL skit from Will Ferrell. He's like talking on what's that? Sherry O'Terry. I think him and her were like talking, and they're like on the news. And it's always, this makes me laugh so hard because he's like, so Don came up to me and he said, "Oh my gosh, you have great hair." And then right after he says that, Sherry O'Terry's like, oh, what did Don say? What did he say? And he's like, "I just told you what he said. I just told you what he said." That's just like that, Natalie.
Yep,
so thank you.
you.
Okay, so collaboratively, no ding, so we don't have to worry about how you're going to ring in.
Collaboratively.
You guys are going to try to get these. Now, these are before and afters, and the before and after is a little looser. Okay, so it's not always the last word is the first word.
Okay.
I think they'll be obvious. A lot of them are, but sometimes it's a little bit different. Okay. Which you'll, I think, get. Now, these combine board games with Christmas movies.
So the answers, what are the answers? Board games?
They combine board games.
Oh, right.
I just told you that.
This is where we need video.
Told you that. I just told you that.
Okay.
Well, I got you, Natalie. Don't worry. I got you. We're on the team
is everyone
now.
a board game and a movie, or is some
You
of them
don't
board
need to
game?
understand the rules. I got it. We'll
Thanks,
do it.
Jeff.
We're going it together.
Collaboratively, we got
I
it.
just told you that.
Wait, so are they always board games?
Natalie, shut the
Stop! You didn't answer that part.
They're board games and movies. Okay.
Okay, every time.
What the fuck?
Every third time, and then every second time, it's a movie.
I can't wait till we get to like number 4 and it's 2 board games.
And then the first one is a board game and a Lifetime Hallmark movie. And then we got it, Natalie.
Oh my gosh! Admittedly, I have literally not read every one of these. I just skimmed them all.
How many are there?
I just told you that. I just told you that. There's 12.
Really?
Yes! Okay, here we go. Oh my god. Okay, number 1. This cooperative dice rolling game follows Bruce Willis's character as he attempts to rescue his wife from cultists and disrupt their ritual at a Christmas party.
So, Die Hard is the movie.
Yeah. Collective dice rolling game.
Cooperative dice rolling game.
What'd I say?
Collective, same thing.
Yeah.
As he attempts to rescue his wife from cultists disrupting their ritual at a Christmas party.
Cultist is all about Ascension, but that's not...
Ascension dice? No.
Cooperative dice.
What would die?
Oh, Cthulhu. I got it. Cthulhu Death May Die Hard. All right.
Cthulhu Death May Die Hard. That's right. Nice job. All right, so you got Cthulhu Death May Die Hard. That's fantastic. All right, are you ready for number 2?
Yes.
Okay. Use your phone to help the Pierce siblings gather evidence, interrogate suspects, and investigate the scene of the crime where Santa Claus, played by Kurt Russell, was captured.
What's that Netflix movie?
Christmas Chronicles or something.
Okay, so Christmas Chronicles of Crime.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what that Netflix thing was
I'll get the movies, you get the game.
Okay.
That was what happened last time, too.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Wow, I did not expect that to go as quick as it did. Okay, number 3. Play as either Danny DeVito or Matthew Broderick's character and lead a band of trolls to excavate their underground home, competing to erect more brilliantly illuminated statues than your opponents for glory, honor, and holiday cheer.
Danny DeVito and
Danny DeVito's in a Christmas movie?
Broderick?
Oh.
What movie are they in?
They like live on the same street together. And he's like, Danny DeVito has this insane decorations, these Christmas decorations.
Yeah, I don't know what that one's called.
That's not Jingle All the Way, that's with Arnold.
No, that's Arnold.
Man.
Okay, so I'll give you a hint for the game, and maybe it'll help you.
Okay.
Play as either Danny DeVito or Matthew Broderick's character, and lead a band of trolls moot.
Trolls moot?
Oh, you guys played the Trolls Moot.
Yes,
What does Trolls Moot mean?
It was Trolls Moot. It was a game where they called something the Trolls Moot. Shit.
Try to do a game with trolls. Is that
Trolls
not
Moot.
helpful?
Just Trolls Moot.
Here's your next clue.
Oh, man.
Oh, in the Hall of the Mountain King,
Oh yeah, the trolls.
Oh, is it Deck the Hall of the Mountain King?
Deck the Halls of the Mountain King!
Woo!
Deck. Is that what the movie? The movie's called Deck the Halls.
I think it's called
That's
Deck
it?
the Halls.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
Sweet. That was a good one, Natalie.
With sour cream or without sour cream?
Oh boy.
I don't know. It does look like it says minus sour, but it
sour
also could
cream
just be
debacle.
that's sour. Just get sour cream, damn it.
Yeah. Just
Okay. Here we go. Number 4. Can you navigate a web of intertwined stories about romance to deliver your message to the princess? Or will Andrew Lincoln's character beat you to her with some poster board signs?
Love Actually
Oh.
is the movie.
Okay, I got it.
What?
I think it's Fog of Love, actually. Ooh, all right. So that's not the game. All right.
That's good. That's good. This
Okay.
one is not. No, not. You're close. So you're close. You guys are close.
Okay.
Can you navigate a web of intertwined stories about romance to deliver your message to the princess?
Oh,
Is it
love
like
letter.
love letter?
So it's love letter. Yeah.
So love. So like I said, this one is kind of a different one.
Yeah, Love Actually letter.
Love letter actually.
Love letter, actually. Fog of Love letter is great, though.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, Fog of Love, actually.
Yeah, right.
That's good.
We know what you meant.
We'll do that on the next one.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Okay. Number 5. Help Kevin McAllister furnish each room of his family's house with booby traps to prevent burglars from looting it.
Oh, Dream Home Alone.
You got it!
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, this just sounds like Home Alone and no game.
Furnishing Kevin's house.
Yeah, right. You're not
Yeah.
furnishing.
Dream Home.
Yeah,
Dream Home Alone.
Yeah, I
Good
think
job.
you're building. You're like it's like
Yep.
HGTV, the board game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, this one is awesome. I like this one a lot.
All right.
A magic hat brought this frozen sculpture to life. And that's only one of the terrifying mysteries you will need to solve in this app-driven cooperative game.
Is it Frosty the Snow Mansions of Madness?
Yes!
Wow! Great.
Great job! When I saw this one, I was like, oh, this is genius. Frosty the
great.
Snow Mansions of Madness?
Yeah.
That's so great.
Well done.
Good
Natalie.
job, Natalie.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Natalie,
You guys are
Taco
killing
Bell
this.
powered. She is.
Taco Bell powered Natalie. Right, we're eating Taco Bell. Sorry, everybody. Okay, number
Sorry
7.
to Jeff. I feel bad. He can't be here eating with
okay.
It's
us.
in Jeff's spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Jeff's here in spirit. All right. Number 7. The setting of this hidden movement game has danced its way from dreary London to rural Vermont. Play as Wallace, Davis, or one of the Haynes sisters as they search for snow. As they search for snow for the holidays.
Is it
Letters
White?
of
Is it Whitechapel?
Okay.
And then I don't know what that movie is.
Is it something like Letters of Whitechapel?
Chapel Hill.
White Christmas? Is that a
What did you say?
White Christmas?
White
Is that
Christmas
a
Chapel.
movie?
Chapel White Christmas.
Wha-
You're so close.
White
Did I get the movie right or
Christmas
wrong?
Yeah, you're right.
Chapel. White Christmas
You're like,
Chapel.
you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Flapjack Flip Out.
Flap, flip, flopper, flap. So, Natalie, is the
It
movie
does.
called White Christmas? The movie's called White Christmas. And the
think
place is
so.
called
Yes.
White Chapel. Letters from White Christmas Chapel.
Yeah!
Oh,
Letters
nice.
from. There's no chapel. He just wrote Letters from White Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You guys are killing this. All right, number 8. In this hand management game, set in a futuristic dystopian society, this hard worker with a misformed olfactory must advance through the caste system with his army of misfits.
Is it the crew?
Yeah, but what the
I
hell
think
goes with Scrooge?
Jeff has a better chance of getting this one.
Okay. Advance through the caste system. Could be like Red
Right.
Rising.
Red Rising?
What's a red Christmas? The Red Wedding. The
It's like something with misfit toys?
Okay, now how about this hard worker with a misformed olfactory?
Santa.
Something with
What?
elves?
Elves.
Wait, this what? Misformed?
Misformed hard worker with a misformed olfactory.
Oh, I got it. Well, I have the words. I don't know if they're going to go in the right order. How about Rudolph, the Red Rising Reindeer.
Yes,
Nice.
Rudolph, the Red Rising Reindeer. Beautiful. Jeff, nicely done, my friend.
Good one.
You guys are destroying this.
These are great. Who did this again?
Right?
Jeffrey? Steven did this?
No, this one is Phil, the Haitian
Phil.
sensation.
Oh, yeah.
They're really
Phil.
good.
Man, these are great. Well done. Go
I know.
follow that board game covers.
I know.
I love
These
how
are
we've
so
been having
great.
listeners provide the games for
Yeah,
us.
Ryan
It is
loves that,
so
too.
great.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't have to do shit. This is so amazing. Number 9. This one is. I haven't read the clue, but the answer to this one is awesome. This storytelling game follows the king of Halloween Town on his journey to holiday cheer to his land, but his choices lead him on many misadventures.
So it's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay. What was the game part of it?
Yeah, that's going to be. Jeff's going to probably get that
All
one.
right, read it again.
This storytelling game follows the king of Halloween Town on his journey to holiday cheer, but his choices lead him on many misadventures.
What's a storytelling game with night in it? Like, this isn't the game, but Noises at Nightmare Before Christmas. But it's not Noises at Night. That's not that.
That sounds awesome, but that's not it.
But it's, I know it's that. So, what's that? It's not Stuffed Fables. It's not.
Yes.
Jeff, it's a game you love.
Oh man, it's a game I love.
Is it Night of the Ninja?
You don't own it.
Ooh.
Oh, that's not
Oh, no.
storytelling.
You don't own
Love
this.
it.
You
Oh.
love. Well, I don't think you own it. Yeah, he got
Tales
it.
of
He's got it.
Arabian Nightmare Before Christmas. All right,
Yeah, baby.
good one.
All right, 3 more.
All right.
Help George Bailey create a better future for himself with the guidance of Clarence in this card drafting and engine building game.
What's the
You
movie?
know George Bailey?
What?
Do you know George Bailey?
George Bailey. Scrooge.
Or
George
Clarence?
Bailey. Probably.
I don't know.
That was Ryan crumpling a wrapper.
Wait.
for that.
Yep, sorry.
Wait. Say it again.
Okay. Help George Bailey create a better future for himself with the guidance of Clarence in this card drafting and engine building game.
Oh, what's the where they go in like Christmas past and Christmas future and what's that
Yeah,
movie
that's
called?
like
A Christmas Carol?
Christmas Carol.
Ooh, A Christmas Carol.
Is that the game? Is that the movie?
Nope.
Oh.
Is it It's a Wonderful World?
Natalie got it.
Ooh, that's it. Oh, just
That's it.
It's a Wonderful
Because it's
movie
both.
and
It's the
the
name
game?
of the movie and the game.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful world. Nice job. Nice job. All right, 2 more. Number 11. You guys have gotten all of them so far. This is so fun.
Pressure's on now.
Number 11. This re-implementation of a family-friendly reimagining of a well-regarded engine-building game woo, is set not in the 20th century Eastern Europe, but mainly in 19th century Eastern United States, where the March Daughters encounter the real world, collecting resources and managing conflicts as they pass from childhood to womanhood.
So the March Daughters, that's Little Women.
Little
The
Women.
movie.
Okay, I don't know shite about Little Women. A game we've got to have women or little or some combination of the two.
Huh. This is the first time I'm seeing this one. I don't really understand it, to be honest with you. You are correct about Little Women, by the way.
Little Women. Okay, and it's something about this euphorian something in the
Can you
19...
read the-
Yeah, what's the
read
thing?
it again?
Read the beginning.
Okay. This re-implementation of a family-friendly reimagining of a well-regarded engine-building game is set not in the 20th century Eastern Europe, but mainly in 19th century Eastern U.S.
I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it My Little Scythe Little Women?
Oh, yes, it
nice.
is.
Something like
Okay,
that.
so it doesn't say side. Okay, My Little Side. My Little... The answer is My Little Women.
Little
Got
Women.
it.
That, well
Natalangus.
Nangy. Killing.
Holy fucking hell. All right, stop what you're fucking doing right now and follow bad board game covers on
He's
Instagram.
just so good.
What a
Yeah,
son
these
of a
are good.
fucking bitch this
These are
fucker
good.
is. These are so awesome. I'm having the best time eating my burrito and just listening to you guys figure these out. You guys are so much smarter than me, for one. And for two, Phil, holy crap.
Way to go.
This is incredible. Here's the last one. I'm really sad this is the last one.
Okay.
In this epic card drafting game, Ralphie Parker must carefully manage resources, build a military to fight the class bully, and discover new technologies, like the Red Ryder air rifle, to build the best childhood.
Okay, so obviously A Christmas Story. I know that one.
Yeah.
And then we're looking for a card drafting game with
This is maybe the toughest one because neither of you have played it.
You think it uses the word story?
Maybe.
You both know the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want me to say it again?
Yeah.
Epic card drafting game. Carefully manage resources. Build a military to fight the class bully. And discover technology.
Oh, man.
So is the bully is part of the game?
Huh?
Is the bully part of the game or part of the movie?
No, I think that's just the movie thing, maybe.
Okay.
It's just a way to connect the...
So something with story and it has card drafting, military.
Here's a clue. We own this. We have never played it.
Ooh, Natalie, look at your never played list. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, fuck it. Is it on there? It is on there.
It is?
So it's something with... Look at card drafting stuff. I'm saying card... You did say card drafting, right? Am I saying that?
Yeah.
Okay.
In this epic... So epic is also a keyword. In this epic card drafting game, Ralphie must carefully manage resources, build a military to fight the bully, and discover new technologies.
Man.
Nothing has story or Christmas in it.
You
The entire name of the game is out there. This is tough.
Yeah, this is a hard one. Leave the hardest one for last.
Yep. Do you want me to get you? Want to just give it to you?
Is it
the last one?
Is it Through the Ages?
It is Through the Ages.
Through the Ages. What's the next line of Through the Ages, Jeff?
What about
Through the Ages?
Through the A Christmas Story.
It's
Through the Ages and then something else, like colon, blah, blah, blah.
It's Through the Ages, a Christmas story of civilization.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because normally it's Through the Ages, a story of civilization.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
okay.
That was
Through
great.
the Ages, wow! Let's all give Phil a round of applause, I think. I mean, that was amazing. Thank you so much,
That was
Phil,
awesome.
for sending that in.
That was really fun.
I still have a bunch of these from Plurpy that we'll do in the future.
Okay.
He sent me a bunch as well, so I'm really excited to get those out as well, because this before and after game is super fun.
Yeah,
I love that
great.
you guys can do it cooperatively, Natalie, so you don't have to figure out who to ding. So that's amazing. Thank you, Phil, for the game. We're now going to move into, so it's the end of 2021. Actually, it's the beginning of 2022. We don't have stats for you because of Natalangus. What we do have for you, we're going to do Gamecasters Awards. Okay, the Insties did not happen. We're going to reappropriate these MRFers into the Gamecasters Awards. The way it's going to work is the three of us, we have 10 categories, okay, for awards. The three of us are going to bring a nominee for each of these categories, which we're going to tell you now. Then, throughout the next 2 weeks, we are going to somehow on social media, maybe through Instagram stories or the Discord or a combination of those, you guys are going to vote on the nominees to determine a final winner in each category. All right. Let's get into these Gamecasters 2021 awards. We have 10 categories. We're going to just go through them all. We're going to start with the best filler game of the year. Now, again, we have not seen these nominations from each other, so there is potential to be crossover, possibly even 100% crossover. If that's the case, then obviously the Gamecaster Game of the Year is that nominee.
Unanimous.
Mm-hmm.
So that will kind of be like a spoiler for next episode.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to start this one. Okay, best filler game. And then we'll go Jeff and then Natalie.
Okay.
So my best filler game for the year, this was tough. There was
tough.
two.
This was a tough one.
There was two of them for me that really stuck out. I ended up going with this other one just because of the potentiality for constant expansions. And so I went with the new roll and write game by Stonemaier called Rolling Realms.
Nice.
That is my nominee for the best filler game of the year.
Good choice.
Thank you. That game was really, really good. Jeff, what about you, man?
I have a game that I'm going back and forth with being like, I'm going to go with it's a filler. Okay, I'm going to say the game Overboss is going to be
I would say that's filler for sure.
Category lightweight, easy to play, plays in a half hour, 40 minutes.
Good answer. Good answer.
Overboss filler game.
That's a fantastic
I
game.
love Overboss.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, Natalie, what do you got?
My best filler game, again, kind of like Jeff's, like, might not be a total obvious filler game, but I'm going to go with it, and it's called 10.
Awesome.
Boom. That was a
10. Hit. I agree with that completely. That's a great game.
Yeah, those are
very
three
good filler games.
That's gonna be tough to pick.
That sure is. What are you gonna do? We got Rolling Realms by Stonemeyer Games. We have 10 by AEG. Is that right?
Yep.
And Overboss is Brotherwise?
Yeah, by the brothers. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. I'm not going to do that for every game because that was a struggle.
Yeah,
but okay. True. All right, here we go. We're going to go next to the best middleweight game. Okay. Jeff, you start this time.
Ooh, the best middleweight game. I'm going to go with a game from Z-Man called Cryo.
Oh, great. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that game. That I've played it a couple times, and the first time I was like, okay, this is pretty good. And the second time I played it, I liked it more. And I think that more and more I play it, the more and more I like it. And it falls into that 2.73 range of being like very middleweight. The art is awesome. Middleweight game, Cryo.
Very good.
Nice.
Very good. Natalie, what about you?
Hopefully this is a middleweight game.
It doesn't, I mean, it's
okay.
fine.
All right. I picked Cascadia.
Yeah, I would say that's probably a little lighter, but that's
well, my
fine.
two were like Cascadia or Overboss, and you said Overboss was light, and I was like, damn it. I was like, hopefully Cascadia is light.
I think it's light medium. It's probably like a 2-ish on the BGG weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Cool. Well, my number... Wait, no. We're not doing top 5. My best middleweight game of 2021. I don't want to spoil anything, but there was one game that I particularly really enjoyed. And this just seemed to fit into a lot of different categories for me. And I'm not saying it wins all of them, but it certainly did for best middleweight game of the year for me, coming in at a 3.01, I think, or 3.06. And it's we just did a roll and write. This is the Blankenright game, Hadrian's Wall from Garfield Games.
Ooh. You think that's middleweight?
3.06 is about as middleweight as it gets.
You're right.
All right, that's it for middleweight games. Okay, we have no crossover yet, guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at us go.
Wow. All right, now we're going to go into most innovative. Let's do most innovative game.
Ooh.
There were some innovations in 2021. Natalie's going, ew. So you go first, Natalie.
Oh, man.
What game did you think had the best innovation, Natalie Angus?
This is my least confident answer.
That's fine.
Oh boy.
I went with the game Destinies.
Destinies. All right.
Because it has that app that is kind of unique, and it's also unique in the way that it has everybody plays different characters, but everybody's kind of in the same story, and it all comes together. And I thought that was innovative. I
think that's a good answer. I do. I wouldn't pick it for myself ever, but I think it's great. So we'll go back to me. So most innovative game for me, what I chose, which is going to make you feel silly, is Destinies.
I know.
You knew?
As soon as you started talking after I said it, I was like, he totally picked that.
Destinies, yes, for all the reasons Natalie came up with. So, I mean, it's no secret that Lucky Duck has done the Chronicles of Crime thing with the QR codes, and that's not the only thing Destinies brings to the table. Destinies has a lot of really cool interlocking things in it that I don't think I've seen in other games, and I really, really love the idea that you're playing a character who's going through a story competitively with the other players, but their stories all interlock together in one overall narrative. And I think I love that about Destinies. So that is my pick for most innovative game. Jeff, what about you?
We got a crossover. It's happening.
Destinies wins!
Destinies is the winner!
Most innovative game of 2021. You heard it here first.
Yep.
Gamecasters pick Destinies from Lucky Duck wins the category. Ding!
Ding. Not last. Ding.
Not last. Yeah, not worst place. Ding. Okay. We're going to slide on over to the best cooperative game.
Okay.
We're sliding in. It's my go.
All right.
It's my go. Now, part of the trouble for coming up with top games of 2021 is that we just haven't played a shit ton of top games in 2021. Now, I honestly think Role Player Adventures is sitting right there on the table. I think that has a very good chance for me of becoming the top cooperative game of 2021. But I haven't played it yet. So the one that I have played, about four plays maybe-ish, is a game called The Initiative.
Ooh, good one.
We have not played it to the end yet.
Yeah, all the way through.
But there's some really interesting things going on in that game. And so that is going to be my nominee for Best Cooperative Game of the Year. Jeff, what about you?
It's not The Initiative, but Devin and we are 3 away from finishing The Initiative. So
really?
It's been,
cool. I
fun.
can't wait to hear what you think about how it
there was
ends.
another kind of, one of our most recent plays, another kind of cool big reveal, which was pretty sweet. It was rewarding because there was a handful where we were like, all right, come on.
Yeah, I remember for a while I was kind of getting disappointed because you were disappointed. You know, you were like, it's not, because at the very beginning there's something awesome that happens.
Yep.
And then you said it kind of just, okay, cool, that's good news. All right, what's your pick, Jeff?
So my pick for Cooperative Game of the Year is a game I played with Joe called Unsettled.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Game's really unique, really cool, different. I might have thought of that for innovative at least, but I think Destiny's pushed that away. But it's just, it's got some humor. It has some working together. There's no like quarterbacking. It's very, and it's like a game, right? It's got a lot of cool scenarios and stuff like that. So that's mine. I'm gonna go with Unsettled.
Very cool. I'm very interested in that game. Nice pick. All right, Natalie, what about you?
Well, I'm pretty sure I only have one cooperative game on my list of games played. So I have to pick
The Initiative.
One. The Initiative.
Oh, I have another one that you missed that I thought about. I thought you might say Tranquility. That's a one we worked
When
out.
I looked it up, it said 2020.
Oh, okay.
That's why I didn't put it on here. I totally would have picked that one.
2020 around the world, and I think it came here.
So that's a tricky thing to do in lists like these.
So
He's
there was
right.
some that
Why don't you change it right now to Tranquility?
Okay, I'm changing it to. I honestly would have picked that over The Initiative.
Yay,
I really like that.
No crossover again. Okay, very good, very good, very good. Okay, yeah, because I agree with you. That's a great game.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into best thematic game. So game with the best theme that you think. Okay, and we're going to start with Jeff.
Well, we did innovative. Theme.
Innovative. Yep, this is theme.
Oh,
theme.
man.
Let me guess. You have the same game.
I hate to put up.
Do it. No, do it.
That's already been put up. I'm going to say Destiny's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't think you should hate to do that because if it's that good,
yeah,
it's definitely the most thematic game.
It deserves it.
It is. Even the music on the app plays. It really brings you into it. And then they have a couple expansions that we're going to be talking about soon. That kind of changes also the theme, but is also something that I want to immerse myself in because this one's kind of like a spirity, haunted city sort of thing, witches and stuff like that. And the next one is like could be some pirates and stuff like that, and land and sea. So or not land, sea and something. But anyway,
you're not writing these down, are you, Jeff?
No.
Okay, I'm going to have Natalie start writing these down.
Okay.
Okay, we can probably go back and remember the other ones. I'm going to think. Okay, cool. So, Natalie, what about you? What do you think is the most thematic game of the year? You can say Destiny's if you want.
I mean, Destiny's was. I had another backup, but it's like it's nothing compared to Destiny's. It's probably borderline thematic at all.
Twister. Chess.
Should I just say it? I'll just say it.
Do it.
I was going to say Rolling Realms.
Okay.
Each card.
I do not think that's a bad pick.
Thematic based on the game type.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad pick. Theme is not like there's not like one textbook definition, and that's what you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like if you feel the theme in the game from that, then say it. So that's your pick then?
I'll pick that. Sure.
That's ridiculous. Okay, so for me, the most thematic game of the year for me, Destiny's was a very close up there pick. There was a couple other games I actually could have chose, but the one that I decided to go with is Mind Management.
Good one.
Now, this is a hidden movement game that just came out this past year, and my goodness, I'm reading the graphic novels, and it is like a shot-for-shot remake. It's so great. There's original artwork in there. If you look at that box, you could pour over that box with theme, not know a thing about the game, how the game plays, and just become ensconced in the theme.
I think
so
if
that's
I would
my
have
pick.
played that one, that would have been...
Yeah, I think so too. So that's my pick for best thematic game, Mind Management. Okay, let's head on over to the best strategic game. And Natalie, we're starting with you.
Okay, my best strategic game of 2021 is Hadrian's Wall.
Hadrian's Wall.
Ooh, Hadrian's Wall.
You care to say a few words about Hadrian's Wall?
Well, there wasn't a lot of strategic games to pick from, honestly.
Oh, that's a great ringing endorsement for
and that
Hadrian's.
one, so of the ones that we did
guess.
play, that was by far the best one. I mean, everyone knows how much we enjoyed that, and that's all I got to say.
I will say that I agree with you, because Hadrian's Wall is also my pick for the most strategic game. I felt like this game was like, man, was there so many freaking choices in this game. Like, so many choices. And I loved the myriad of choices, because there was a bunch of different paths that you could see taking that would lead you to a humongous payoff. But it was like these other things to do were almost like more fun. You know, it was like, oh, I kind of want to see how this like, because there's like a Coliseum where you can like fight. It's like, I kind of want to see how that works. Even though it might not be as lucrative as possibly this one, but it could be really awesome. And so it's really fun to do.
Yeah.
And it just seems like every time I play that game, it's going to be very different. There was a couple other games that were really close for me for this one. Bitoku actually being one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah. After we played that, I was kind of like, okay, now that we've played a full game of this, this thing is
it's very
opening
strategic.
up to me. Okay, so that's my pick for best strategic game, Hadrian's Wall. Jeff, what about you?
Well, let's put Bitoku on the list. That's what I'm going with.
Hey!
It was, man, it's got strategy. It's got lots of choices, lots of thinking.
Yeah.
That's it.
Definitely.
Bitoku.
100%.
Strategic
100%.
game of the year.
Boom, I'm with you. All right, I'm going to start off our next one, which is best artwork. No, I'm sorry. Let's go best party game.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Best party game. I'm going to start this one off, and this is a game. Is this technically a party game? It has that party game feel, even though it only plays, I think, 5. Maybe it plays 6. I don't know. What's the definition of a party game to you guys, even, really?
I think it
I'm
could
okay
still be
with
a
what you're
party
gonna say.
game.
Like super light rule set. Only plays like 5 or 6 people. And it gets that like play over and over and over again. Anyway, my pick is So Clover.
Yes.
To me, that's a party game.
Yeah.
I mean, right? I guess
Oh,
I don't know if a
absolutely.
party game has to play 10 plus people.
I would definitely consider that a party game.
Yeah, so I thought this game was fantastic. We were over at Ben and M's house. Ben picked it up at FLGS, and he was just like, I don't know, let's just see what this is like. And we played it, and we were like, oh, man, is it good.
We immediately bought
and
it.
everybody we've played it with has felt the exact same way. Jeff has played it now, and you own it right now.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
great.
Does it ever disappoint? It's always...
We played it at Thanksgiving with my family, so that to me is like, if you can play a game like at a holiday with your family, like that's a party game.
Yeah, fantastic game. So that's my pick, So Clover. Jeff, what about you? Best party game of the year?
Party game. I'm going to go with Night of the Ninja.
Very good.
It's just
Nice.
we might get a crossover here with Natalie upcoming, but I was hoping that someone would say So Clover because that was my next
Your backup.
choice. But Night of the Ninja is that social deduction game, the playing 10 or 11 people. That is the party scene in my eyes, and man,
Agreed.
that one
100%.
does it so well. Night of the Ninja.
Good pick. Good pick. That might be a favorite for that category.
Yeah.
Natalie, what about you? What is your best
Well, my
party
two
game?
listed were Night of the Ninja and So Clover, so we're gonna go with those two.
Okay.
right.
I could also
For the
see. I guess I
nomination.
could also see a situation where like you put like 10 on there or
I thought
something.
10, but
But maybe that's not really even I don't know if that's a party game.
yeah,
I think. So you're
Because I
what are
feel
you
like-
picking then? So Clover. Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
sure.
Or either one.
It doesn't
Doesn't
matter. But both of those to me are more of a party game than 10 because you're acting more social.
I totally agree.
and working together and
I totally agree. Okay, Jeff, you're going to start us off here for best 2-player game.
Best
of the year.
2-player game. All right.
So is this like 2-player only or like best?
No,
to play
I think
with two?
I think you can do it either way. I think you can do 2-player only or game that you think plays best with 2. Either one's fine.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm going to pick one that I'm hoping you guys also say a different one. I'm going to go with one of my newer play games called Canopy.
Ooh.
I really liked playing Canopy. I think that pressure luck sort of tableau building thing was just done really, really well.
That's
and really
great.
tense with 2 people, and the artwork is beautiful. That's a Vincent Dutoit. And,
Yeah. Ooh, he's so great.
It's that is
He's so great. Vincent
again,
Dutoit.
there are rules for 3 and 4, but that is at its
Two-player
core
game.
a 2-player game. So that is my pick for 2-player game of the year, Canopy.
Beautiful. I have a feeling Natalie and I are going to coalesce
I was just
into
gonna
ourselves.
say there's
That was
only
gonna be the
one
other one.
answer, and the
Yeah.
answer is
Land versus sea.
Yeah, I wanted to get another one out there.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Land vs. Sea. We actually have the Mad Board Gamer to thank for this game because this appeared on Jeff's Games of Gen Con on his list. That was not on either mine or Natalie's radar. Or was it? Did you have it on your radar?
Not really.
I didn't even know it existed until Jeff said it out his mouth.
I remember seeing it on there, but I don't remember having. It didn't catch my eye enough to be like, let's check it out.
So there was kind of like a perfect storm of situation here. So this Gen Con was the slowest Gen Con we've been to, aside from doing all the like meetings and stuff. Like the actual convention hall, the vendor hall, we got through very quickly.
Yeah.
So Natalie and I were it was like day 3, and we were just like, or was it day 2? I think it was day 2. Yeah. And we were almost like, okay, we've seen everything. And what do we do now? And we were off on our own, and we were just kind of together walking around. We were like, well, there's really nothing to do. That's what we felt. And then we were like, oh yeah, that's that game Jeff was talking about, Land vs. Sea.
There was
open table. Yeah. There was a guy just standing there kind of like, hello. And so we just like sat down, and he's like, you want to learn this one? And we were like, sure.
Who's this
and
guy?
He's a parrot apparently. Yeah. And he taught it to us. And he intended for us to play for like 10 minutes because people were like building up at the table, and we were like, fuck you, I'm not finishing this.
Right, he didn't say we had to get up.
We played the whole game, and it was so awesome. I immediately bought it. We took it back to the house, and you guys played, I think,
we played Tutankhamun, I think.
Tutankhamun. And Natalie and I was like, I want to play Land vs. Sea again. And we have played it almost 10 times since then.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is by far the game we played the most that we got from Gen Con.
It's great.
I love it. The kids love it. I played it with Cameron. I played it with Lexi. They actually talked about it on the show, how much they enjoyed it. So that is our pick with a bullet for a 2-player game, Land vs. Sea.
Good one.
And Jeff said Canopy. Correct. Okay, so we have 2 left. Am I right about that? 2 left?
So. Yeah.
I think we have Best Artwork is going to be next. And Natalie, you start us off with Best Artwork.
Okay, well, I'll go with the obvious, Bitoku.
All right.
I mean, we just talked about how beautiful that art is. And just,
it is.
Like I said, just the board, the creatures, the tokens, like everything about it is just very, very...
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Fun and pleasant to look at. And yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's freaking beautiful. I almost... Is there even a point to say another game? I mean, I want to almost just so people can vote, but at the same time, it's like I think Bitoku deserves
I do have
it.
one that we could vote. Like,
perfect. Okay, great. Then you say that because I was actually going to be like, Destiny's has some cool artwork too. Role Player Adventures sitting here looks amazing. Mind. Oh, you know what? I'm going to say Mind Management. I'm going to say Mind Management.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does have cool artwork.
Mind Management has this artwork that you've maybe never seen in a game before. It's designed by this graphic artist. Right, who actually, the cool thing about this, the artwork in the game is created by the same artist who wrote the graphic novel that Mind Management is based on.
That's cool.
It's very awesome. And yeah, you know what? That's going to be my pick.
That's good.
Because it is incredible.
You don't have to pick. We don't have to have played this one to have best artwork too.
Well, I played it.
No, I just mean like we didn't have to pick a game we played.
Yeah, whatever you think looks the best. I personally think Bitoku is like,
yes, beautiful.
I mean, for me, it's like head and shoulders. It's like so good. All right, Jeff, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. My vote would probably be for Bitoku, but I want to at least. So there's one game that I think you're leaving off the list because you absolutely hated this game. I'm not picking.
But it has great art.
I'm not picking it, but the game Canvas is absolutely beautiful.
True.
Yeah, that was 2021.
Yeah.
True. So is
there's
another one that you're right though. Canvas is beautiful.
Yeah, that does have really good art.
So that I know you didn't like the gameplay, so maybe that was out of your. But my submission for this is a game I haven't played that I'm really disappointed I haven't played. But the artwork is beautiful and it's called Oath.
Right. That's 2021, isn't it?
Yeah. So though,
nice. That could steal it.
Bitoku and
these are 3 great games.
Yeah, and those are all like gorgeous. And I think that if we liked Canvas a little better, that would probably be something that would show up because it is gorgeous. So
it is.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I remember even thinking we should. I was like, we didn't like this game. Can we just hang this box up?
Yeah. Seriously,
frame it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, that's going to take us into Game of the Year. Here we go, Game of the Year. Oh, we're starting with me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Game of the Year for me appeared 2 other times on my list, and it is just so fantastic. And it is the blank and right game, Hadrian's Wall. I cannot believe how much I enjoyed this game. I cannot believe it. I think maybe we'll play it. I want to play it today. We're not going to have time. I would love to play it
tomorrow. We don't have to work.
Oh, we don't have to work tomorrow. Yeah, we're playing it tomorrow.
Ooh.
It is, man, is Hadrian's Wall so fantastically awesome. Jeff, you have to try this game.
I really want to.
I'm going to bring it to Nerdfest, and I think we should get it played because it'll be simple to get played, and it can play a lot of people, which is fantastic. So that is my choice for Game of the Year, Hadrian's Wall. Jeff, what about you?
Natalie, are you picking Hadrian's Wall too? You
Nope.
just want to go? All right, good.
No, I have a different one.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So I'm between two.
Cities?
Between two cities. I'm between two castles.
Okay.
Man, I don't know if I got like Cult of the New on the brain.
No, do it, man. Do it.
I think I'm going to go with Bitoku.
You were blown away by it, man.
Yeah,
I was pretty blown away.
Yeah, it has possibility of like a play or two like getting itself into the top 15, 10.
Whoa!
With a couple of plays.
Wow.
Man,
that's a bold ass prediction from you.
It blew me away. So that was that with my backup again being Destinies. The two like Destinies was probably with a bullet.
You loved that too
until I played Bitoku.
Bitoku.
So,
holy cow! Yeah, go with your gut, man.
Yeah, so I'm going with that. That's Game of the Year for me.
Very cool. All right, Natalie, what about you?
Right.
Game of the Year.
My Game of the Year is Mind Management.
Wow!
Is that not what you thought?
No, of course not.
What'd you think?
I thought Land vs. Sea.
No, I forgot.
Whoa!
I forgot about Mind Management when I was looking through this, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that game is so freaking fun!" Especially when we played it with
all
more
the
than
stuff
two.
Turned on. Oh yeah, with Joe and Jen.
Yeah. Oh man, and I was like the one.
Yeah.
Instead of the group. Oh my gosh, that game is so fun, and I don't know why I just completely forgot that was like a 2021 game.
Yep.
And
heck yeah.
I want to play that
It was
again.
like my that and the Shivers were my most anticipated Kickstarters, and I've got out of like 40 that I had.
Yeah.
Or 50.
Come on, the Shivers.
Like 60.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, I loved Hadrian's Wall,
The
but
Shivers.
and I mean that's definitely like way up there. But
I am very happy to hear that you put that on there. Very happy. Okay, so we are going to get these nominees. I think I might do Canva things of them, and then I'll give them to you, Jeff, and then we can share them maybe on our stories.
Yeah, you can make like a choice of 4.
Yeah,
and you can have people pick. So
yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
like a poll or whatever.
Very, very excited about this for our first ever Gamecasters Awards that you all are going to vote on. We pick the nominees. You guys vote on the winners. Okay, cool. That's going to take us right into the top 5. So, in a similar vein, these are not necessarily 2021 games, but we are doing best new to me game that you played in 2021. Okay, so the game could have come out whenever. Doesn't matter. These are the games that you think are your favorites. They could be. I mean, they could be 2021. Yeah. They could all be games you played in 2021. Yeah. But probably they won't be. I would guess. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go Natalie, me, Jeff. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready for this, Jeff?
Yeah. I think
okay. Cool. So Natalie, why don't you start off and give us your number 5 new to you game of 2021?
This is tough. I could have made a list of top 7, and they could have been like interchangeable. Like I've really liked. I didn't have a ton. Like I wouldn't say.
But the ones you played were
but the ones I
awesome.
played, I really liked. Okay, so my number 5 is I'm going to go with the obvious Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Oh yeah, the obvious Arnak. Okay, well, number 5 for me is the same.
It is.
Yeah,
that game is so fun.
It's so the play that we had at Jeff's mini Nerdfest over the summer, again with Joe and Jen, was possibly my favorite play of that game so far.
Yeah, and that's one I've really been itching to play again, like recently. Like, I just want to like get another play of that, and it's great.
It's great. It's great. It was. I mean, it was pretty close to a 2021 release.
Yeah,
I think it came out. Didn't it come out in the back half?
Played
of
it in January.
Yeah, I remember
of 2021.
Right.
Yeah, I remember talking about when we were doing like kind of our top games of 2020 last year.
Yeah.
And thinking like, man, there's some heavy hitters at the end of the year, and
that's right. We hadn't played it yet.
I think you even got it for Christmas last year.
Yeah,
2020.
Right. Makes sense. Okay, yeah, that was my number 5 as well. So Jeff, go ahead. What's yours?
Well, I guess it's not Arnak. It might actually be like if I think that, but I'm gonna go with some other games I really enjoyed this year playing.
Yeah, do it.
This was the first year I got to play A Feast for Odin. So I played that a few times now.
Oh,
nice.
That game it's just really good. I see why.
Wait, you played it a few times now?
Yeah, I played it 2 at least twice. With Devin and I and Bill and
that's cool.
I can see why people are calling this like the Uwe game, right? Like this is all of his mind kind of in this game, and it's just really fun. I think there's just so much more to get through every single game, right? Like every game of that is going to be different and is going to feel different, and I like that. So I'm looking forward to hopefully maybe a couple more plays of it this year. So
very cool. All right, nicely done. Feast for Odin. All right, Natalie, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is Obsession. This is
nice.
This game's a few years old.
Yeah, I think it originally printed in 2018, and it had gone out of print not too long ago for a while, and just now got a second or third printing.
Yeah, but this was a game that it was like a heavier game, but it really hit with us like immediately. Like we
instantly turn
loved
one
it, and I think it's one that's going to stick around, and then we're going to keep wanting to. It'll probably be on my play again list next year. So.
This is a game, Jeff, like you talked about Bitoku could rise up your list. This is a game I think that has potential for Natalie, especially for me too, to like consistently rise to the very top. Possibly one of our top 10s. It seems like a game that's like so up your alley.
Yeah.
I'm excited. That's one
choice.
of my most anticipated to play this year. If I was making that list, that's one I'm really excited to play.
Yeah.
That could be another Nerdfest game, although there's a million Nerdfest games.
I know, everything.
Yeah. We'll play
number
Strike
4 for me.
times.
Right. Number 4 for me is a game that we just talked about on the award list for best 2-player only game, and it's Land vs. Sea. Again, because of how shocked I was. I guess if I also had if there was like a most surprising game of the year for 2021, that would have also won that category for me. Yeah. That was the surprise game, surprise hit for me. I did not expect it. Like when Jeff talked about it on the show, and I think I said this to you before, Jeff, I wasn't very particularly excited about it. It seemed kind of dull. Personally, like, okay, I'm either the land or the sea. I'm just placing tiles to connect those. That doesn't seem like it's very interesting. But wow, is it? I mean, holy crap, we even all played it on stream.
Oh, that's right. The 3-player.
Right, yeah, that was the 4-player game. That was super, super fun. So great game. My number 4 is Land vs. Sea. Jeff, what about you? What is your number 4?
All right, my number 4. So I'm going to leave Bitoku off this list just because it probably would be one, but I'm just going to leave it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Games played before December 29th.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to say On Mars was that I played that for the first time this year and was also very blown away. Had very similar feelings with when I played Underwater Cities for the first time, or Bitoku or Trismegistus. Some of my favorite games where I'm like, this has that potential, and it's just deep. And also, good. Devin really liked it, so it was something that I know we'll play again. So
I remember talking to her about it, and I was like, "What did you think of the weight?" And she was like, "It didn't feel like it was." She's like, "Trismegistus felt heavier to me than On Mars."
Yeah,
which I think is, it's funny because On Mars' weight is much heavier, right? Maybe not much, but it's definitely like On Mars is, I think, possibly Vitel's heaviest design.
Yeah,
by Board Game Geek weight class. But I agree with her where it doesn't feel maybe because it's smoother.
Yeah,
you know. But okay, very cool. All right, Natalie, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is oh man. All right, I'm just gonna go with Hadrian's Wall.
Okay, you're like struggling over there.
I know I have like a few that I'm like, which one do I put on the list? I'm gonna go with Hadrian's Wall. That game was, it was so fun.
I haven't even heard of that one. Maybe I'll play it sometime.
It was a great game. Another one that we just like bought immediately after we played it. Like, yes, like this is
the kind of game I want to play all the time.
Right,
was basically how it was.
We're like, let's play this tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
Yep. Hopefully we'll play it tomorrow. Number 3 for me is a game that just appeared as Natalie's number 4, and it is Obsession.
What, do we got the same list?
I mean, well, it's easy to have the same list when we play the same games.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, Obsession. Jeff, I cannot wait for you to play this game. I'm really excited to see what you think about this. The artwork is kind of crap, but it's one of those like
Who cares?
You don't care. You do not fucking care. Like Castle of Burgundy, you just don't care.
Oh yeah.
The components are nicer than Castle of Burgundy, but the gameplay is amazing. All right, Jeff, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is a game about dinosaurs called Dinogenics.
Cool. Yeah, I thought that would make an appearance.
Yes, still a fairly new game, maybe 2019, but still, I got a couple plays of it this year and was very impressed. It had that cool dinosaur theme that I think people like, and that isn't in a ton of games. You know, you get Dinosaur Island, and then there's not a ton, right? And especially when you want like a heavy game. And I think that one, again, I haven't played Dinosaur Island, but from everything I read, I think I'll like this one better than Dinosaur Island. So that's Dinogenics.
Very cool. Dinogenics. Natalie, number 2.
Number 2. All right, I'm going to go with Micro Macro.
Oh, my goodness.
This game was it's just like so simple in play. I mean, I'm sure creating this giant piece of paper in this town was like anything but simple.
Right.
But like, it's such a cool, clever idea, but it's just like it. Yeah.
Okay, so my number 2 is also Micro Macro. I want to just jump in here. Holy crap!
You just spread this piece of paper out on a big table, and you just get to like follow these like storylines and
stories,
answer
and you
these
can,
questions.
This is another game
so
that
cool.
Jeff turned us on to. We were I remember we were recording an episode, and you were like, "Oh, did you hear about that game Micro Macro that just came out?" And I was like, "What?" And you were like, "Oh yeah, it's kind of like Where's Waldo?" And I was like, "What?" I bought it that moment.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
During recording.
I went online and bought it right that second. That he said, all he had to say was like, "Oh yeah, it's like a game
like Crime
version
Where's
of
Waldo." Yeah,
like Crime Where's Waldo. I was like, I bought it instantly. It showed up, and it must have been like the right time because it went it was like out of stock after I bought it. Nobody could fucking get this game.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I didn't even get it for a while. I told you about it, and I couldn't get it for 5 months.
Yeah.
Ryan
it was like
bought the last
nowhere.
copy.
I bought it instantly, and oh my god, I fell in love with it. I'm so infatuated with it.
We're so in love with it that like we were like flying through the cases, and we kind of stopped because we were like, I don't want it to be over.
Yeah, I don't want it to be over.
And
like
then
so
I
fast.
bought him the Full House, Crime City Full House for
The
Christmas,
Olsen-
and
the
we were like,
Olsen
oh cool,
expansion.
now we can finish the first one and not
Yeah.
feel like we're just done because now
Yeah.
we have the second whole game to go through.
Yeah, that's great. That's one that I've played with my students. So I bring that. I have 2 copies of it actually. I kept one at my house.
Yeah.
And I brought a second copy to school because I knew I was like, my kids are gonna A, love this, and B, just fucking destroy it.
Yeah.
They're going to spill. They're going to rip it. It's going to be leaned on, right? So I'm like, let me just leave one
Yeah,
at school.
I want my own clean, nice
And
copy.
So this is actually I have like 2 or 3 people that will play this. They'll come in, they'll be like, "Where's Micro Macro?" Boom, they open it up and they play it. I've had teachers come by and they're like, "What is this?" And they jump in. I've had 3 teachers in my building buy this game the moment they got home.
Oh, that's cool.
Table
Because
presence.
Yes.
It's just so fun, and they have kids, and it plays everybody, and it entertains everybody. That's
And
a great
everybody just
color it,
immediately,
too.
like, you look at it and you can explain it in a second. Like, oh, you do
second.
this. And they're like, I get it. Let's do
the
it.
only
That
thing
sounds
to
fun.
explain is like, listen, that person there is the same as that person.
Right,
This picture is moving, right?
You're right.
But
That's
man,
the trick.
that's a great choice. If I'm thinking about my top list, like Arnak would be on there, Micro Macro would be on there. I just want to highlight some other ones that I like really like.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah, I think it's good that
What
you're
are we
doing
on, number 2?
Yeah.
Yep, number 2.
My number 2 is a game called Praga Kaput Regni.
Yeah, I knew this. Oh, I thought this was going to be number 1.
That I played really early in the year, and that I really want to get back to the table. It's by one of my
You
boys.
loved that.
Yeah, man, that
Yeah,
one
I
hit
want to play
really
this
hard.
again, too.
Yeah, that was a Suchi game that again hit
Suchi
really
too.
hard for me. That I just love, and that's got again that a kind of a Where's Waldo art weird kind of thing. So
Damn, what's his number 1?
it's my number 2.
I really thought it was going to be your number 1.
Yeah, they're kind of in different order. I'm just kind of
Okay.
I'm going. You know?
Yeah.
I hear you. All right, Natalie.
My
Number
number
one.
one. Well, I mean, it's the same number 1 as I had for best game of the year, Mind Management.
Mind management.
Wow,
Yep.
Natalie.
That is so crazy
I
that you like
really
it
like
that
this
much.
game. It's just because it's kind of like, how do I explain it? It's kind of like gives me that like mastermind type feel when you're like not like trying to figure out the puzzle, but then it's like almost just as fun, if not more fun, to be the one on the other side. And I don't know. It was just, it has like that tenseness that is so fun and not like bad stressful, but like exciting. And And
this could have also been a pick for innovative game because it has this cool system in it where if you're the good guys and you lose and you keep losing, you open these boxes.
Oh, right.
And these boxes give you stuff to help you. It's like a catch-up, like a built-in catch-up mechanism. And they're like spoilery stuff, like almost like legacy component stuff. And then once you start winning and the bad guy is losing a bunch, then they have boxes they open to even it out. Ah, man, it's so cool. I might go back and even change it since did Destinies win that outright?
No, go ahead and switch it.
It won it outright.
Yeah, maybe I'll switch to my manager so at least we have something to vote for.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm cool with that because that was the only one I think that was unanimous, so we can swap.
Yeah, because I think I really thinking about it. My management does some stuff in there that I haven't seen other games do. I think it's really, really cool.
Cool.
Number one for me is the same thing as my number one for 2021. It was Hadrian's Wall. There's no mistake about that. That was wow! What a game! What a game! What a game! Jeff, what about you?
I'm gonna just make a little left here. I'm gonna say Destinies is my one.
Okay, that was what I guessed.
It just, I've now played it again with Dave recently, so I have four or five-ish plays this year, and I got the expansion, the first one. It's something about sea and sand or something like that.
Okay.
And I'm just whenever I play that game, I'm just like I'm involved, I'm into it, and even Dave like beat my ass in the last game, and it's one of those games that I didn't care. I was also trying to figure out what his story was.
And
he's reading something, and I'm like, oh, you should totally fight him. Like, right? I'm like, why am I helping him? Right? But it was just it's that
because
fun,
you're just into it, and it's so cool.
Exactly, that immersive feeling of this game, the music, the app, everything just kind of goes really well, and I like that everybody's Destiny, like you've said before, are kind of intertwined, right? Like, I have a little tiny piece of information that I know that you might find out later, and you might be trying to get the same people, but for different reasons. It was one of my favorite games I've played, and then also for this year. So, Destiny.
That's awesome.
That is.
Well, that is our top 5 new to us games in 2021. We are hoping that there is some amazing things that are going to happen this coming up year, both game related and not. So hopefully you will stick with us and join us the entire time. As contrary to what Amanda and maybe Dan has said, we are not retiring.
No.
That is not happening.
There's going to be more of us now.
More of us. Yeah, exactly. We're going to have more Gamecasters content to shove down the throats of our furious, hungry listeners. And until then, thank you so much for listening. So that's going to do it for us tonight, everybody. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Instagram at Gamecasters or at Mad Board Gamer. Both of those accounts service the podcast. We also have a Facebook group. Just search Gamecasters and you'll find us there. You can also email us at thegamecasterspodcast@gmail.com. If you like the show, we'd love it if you consider giving us a rating on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen that allows you to rate us. We've also got a Patreon. If you want to support the show, feel free to head on over to patreon.com/thegamecasters. There's also a merch store where you can find all sorts of different Gamecasters, Mad Board Gamer, Gateway gear. So head on over to thegatewaynetwork.com/store. Please follow me and consider subscribing on Twitch at twitch.tv/Gamecasters. So for Natalie and Jeff the Mad Board Gamer, I'm Ryan, and you have been listening to The Gamecasters. Good night, everybody.
Hey Gamecasters, it's the Burrito Man Dan.
And Kim.
And I just wanted to let you guys know, I love the show and I'm really excited to hear your final episode coming this January.
Oh, wait, I didn't think there was... Wait, come on. Oh, wait, I don't think they were doing... I don't know. Wait. Oh, they're not having a final... Wait, no, that's not right. I just want to get it right. Wait, just give me a moment. Wait, ready? Oh, wait, no. Sorry, wait. I don't know what the fuck that was. Okay.
Hey, Gamecasters.
Just do it, Red. Just keep doing it for us.
Hey Gamecasters, it's a Burrito Man Dan.
And Kim.
And I just want to let you guys know I'm really, really looking forward to your final episode premiering this January.
They're not having a... Wait! Oh, wait, I can't say... Oh, wait, ready?
Our prizes are
that last
You
time.
cannot bet better than the prices we offer in our showroom.
Oh, I think I know what to say. Just say that last line again. Their last episode or whatever.
Hey, Gamecasters, it's the Burrito Man Dan.
Oh, go for that part. Just say the last name.
We can't edit on this.
I know, but at least like we can go back to a minute 40 and hear something. I just need to know the thing to say.
Hey, Gamecasters.
Oh God.
Dan. Oh God, please. Happy. Hey, Gamecasters, it's the Burrito Man Dan.
Kim.